What's good? What's good? What's good, fans? Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of the Voice of the Fans podcast. Tonight, special night, special night. Got my finally got my full moon in the house. Full moon, my barbecue. Full moon right here. We got. Let me show you guys. We got some chow chow, relish based, relish based up the sauce. You got the white sauce. The full barbecue. You got the white sauce. Nice pink sauce. Man, we're gonna get started a little different. Usually we run a promo, a little montage of what we've been through, the podcast has been through, I've been through over the last several years, but we're gonna do something a little different today. We're gonna do it just like this. Hey, why don't you look so happy today? You look a little disappointed over there. Come on, I mean, I hope you get a little bit more enthusiastic about the show there, fella. You look a little down. We're gonna get the show started like that, like this, and hopefully come on and cheer up here.
And now you're gonna take Jared Goff over Brock Purdy?
Oh yeah, and this Detroit offense, he looks extraordinary.
Mm-hmm. Extraordinary.
Extraordinary.
Cleveland. If I could slime you, pour the slime like they do in Nickelodeon, if I could pour the slime over your head right now, because you can't even keep this in. Yeah, you and I have any personal bets right in on this game?
Personal bets, yeah. I bet that the San Francisco 49ers would not represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. 2 pounds of ribs.
And this is probably week 8 or 9, I believe it was, when Brock Purdy was on his MVP stretch, and I was forced to amend my Super Bowl prediction. I did have the Eagles going into the season. I had the Eagles versus the Chiefs going into the season, admittedly so. But I was forced to amend because all the sling and mud that was thrown over Brock Purdy's name. I amended my bet and said Brock Purdy would lead the San Francisco 49ers to this NFL Super Bowl this season. I said that it had to be week 6 or 7 in Cleveland. And where are we at now? We're in the NFC Championship game, 1 game away, right?
Right.
And you expect Jared Goff to get in the way and Aaron Glenn, who hasn't seen the field in 30 years? You expect them guys to get in the way? Come on, man. Stop it. So, fans, maybe that partially explains why I'm having my full moon tonight. A nice little sweet tea, heavily sweet tea, I should add. Good. Cleveland, you still don't look so happy. A little taste of my white sauce. Little taste of my white sauce. Cleveland, why are you looking so down over there, man? Are you having a bad week this week or what?
No, I'm fine, Cam. No, I'm fine. I'm not gonna get sucked into your vortex. I'm gonna keep it cool.
Like tri-tip here, I got tri-tip instead. A little dip into the white sauce. Cleveland. One more time. I'm sorry, fan. I know this is one of the things that you're not supposed to be eating on air. However, you guys said while I'm eating. Cleveland, you with me?
I'm here, Cam.
I mean, you sound like you're a little disappointed today. I mean, I don't understand.
No. Just watching you, reap the benefits of your great decision, and like the great coach Mike Tomlin says, no excuses, no explanations, man. Grab away.
I mean, are you a believer in Brock Purdy yet, sir? Huh?
No.
2 NFC championships in back-to-back years.
And how many Super Bowls, Cam? I'm so sorry. One more time.
one Super Bowl, two NFC championships in the first 2 years in the league. That's pretty impressive.
You know, Jim Kelly went to the AFC Championship 4 times. Never won a Super Bowl. You know, Donovan McNabb went to the NFC Championship 4 times. Never won a Super Bowl. So,
oh man,
it happens.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you because this is so good.
This back to back is great. You know, and
Come on, can you
eat up?
I mean,
get your belly.
The numbers game, come on, fans. Excuse me, though, fans. We put money on the table. We had a bet. Full moon. I got my full moon. Excuse me, fans. Got my full moon. Again, got the chow chow, fans. Chow chow. It's a relish base, something with relish and coleslaw or something. I don't know exactly what it is, but it looks disgusting. I might say it looks pretty disgusting. But when you sprinkle a little bit on the tri-tip, fans, and then you take that, you guys see what I'm doing, right? You take that and then you dip it into the white sauce. Oh. Cleveland is succulent. White sauce. Excuse me, fam. White sauce is a fan favorite with the barbecue down here. For those who don't know, I'm down here in Birmingham, Alabama, and you know, dishes are done a little differently everywhere. You know, everywhere you go, there's different dishes are done. Like Seattle, phenomenal teriyaki. Cleveland, you'd have to agree, phenomenal teriyaki. Just about anywhere you go. I mean, you can go into the hole in the wall. You can go to the fanciest restaurant. The teriyaki is phenomenal. As with the seafood, I mean, several seafood restaurants and all that. We've had the Daniels. We have the Daniels. I had to pay off a bet. We end up in Daniels. And what did you have at Daniels, Cleveland? Well, I don't even remember. Let's not go. Let's not revisionist history. Let's not even go talk about that. We're going to talk about. Just the smell of this here. One more time, man. The chow chow. You see the chow chow, right? Relish base. Just get a little forkful. That's all. I get a little forkful. Sprinkle it on. Can you guys see how I'm sprinkling it on my meat right here, Cleveland? And then like a little sandwich, like a little hot pocket. I fold it over, Cleveland. Maybe one day you get to try it. And then again, just a little dip into the white sauce. Oh my mouth is watering before I can even get it in my mouth, and my mouth is watering, Cleveland. And just Cleveland. I might send you some of this white sauce. It's like no other. I mean, it's very different than barbecue sauce. A little tangy. I can't even put the flavors together, but it's some seasoning in this white sauce. It's not a mayonnaise base. It's just like a tangy mustard, maybe. I need another piece. Again, fans, this little chow chow. You guys get a good look at it. I just want you guys to get a good look at the chow chow. Again, relish. It's relish based. I can clearly taste the relish. They offer pickles with this. I don't know why they offer the pickles when they serve it. And then I just fold it over, fans. I just fold it over like this, like such. You know, and then I get the 2 pieces, and so the chow chow's right in the middle. And then we want just a little dip in the white sauce. Just a little dip, man. Just a little. Cleveland, will you start the numbers in for us, please?
For sure, Cam. As it being the 280th iteration of Voice of the Fans in this capacity, the question becomes, who was the greatest to wear the number 80? And for myself, I'm sorry, who is the first person to come to mind, and then who wore it the best? So when I think of the first person to come to mind, you know, as the Seahawks are kind of reestablishing themselves and, you know, have moved on from Pete Carroll in that era, you know, I have to harken back to, you know, some of the, you know, great Seahawks from the past. And, you know, Steve Largent comes to mind. You know, I think that if he was in the slot right now, I think he would be pretty much unstoppable. I think Cooper Kupp is a 2.0 version of Steve Largent.
Wait, I missed it. Who's the
Manifest-
2.0
I'm
version
sorry,
of Steve Largent?
Excuse me. I'm sorry. What are you saying? Eat your food.
Who's the 2.0 version of Steve Largent?
Eat your food. I'm talking. So Cooper Kupp being a the 2.0 version of Steve Largent, but I really think that Steve Largent could play in this era, right? So he's kind of the first person to come to mind. Who were the best? Well, obviously that's the GOAT at that same position, Jerry Rice, and full transparency. Jerry Rice actually went to Steve Largent when he came to Seattle and said, "Hey, man, I know we don't usually do this, and your number is retired, but would you mind if I wore the 8?" And he said, "It'd be my pleasure," and actually gave up his retired number to Jerry Rice. So,
how was that received in the city of Seattle? I wasn't up there, but how was
it controversial? It was a little controversial. I mean, that's always kind of weird. I mean, it has to be almost nepotism for you not to feel kind of weird about it, right? And even when Ken Griffey tried to go back to Cincinnati and get the 24, it wasn't his dad's number, and Tony Perez was like, I'm not a fan of that. So the mere fact that Steve Largent was able to acquiesce and say, you can wear the retired number that I made so famous here in Seattle, and not really have a big deal with it was kind of game recognized game, showing respect to the greatest receiver in the history of football.
Okay, I mean, you can't go wrong with Steve Largent, obviously. What about Kellen Winslow? You ever consider Kellen Winslow as the greatest tight end, maybe?
No, he's falling like 6 or 7 at this point.
Where's Chris Carter fall on your list?
As far as receivers, he's a Hall of Famer.
Oh, one more time. One more time, fans. This is the white sauce. Good one. Man, good. I'm going to have to get you some of this white sauce, big guy.
Mm-hmm.
How about the number 21?
Cam, the first person that comes to mind, just because we've been talking so much about it through the All-Star weekend, is Dominique Wilkins. As I stated on our Sunday show, his final dunk in '88 is legendary. Probably one of the top 10 dunks you've ever seen. So just the familiarity of what we've been talking about the last couple of days. He's the first one to come to mind. But who wore it the best is Deion Sanders, without question.
Deion Sanders wore it the best?
Yeah, Deion Sanders wore it the best.
What about Tim Duncan, Roberto Clemente?
They both wore it very well, but I'm gonna go with Deion Sanders.
My goodness. So Cleveland, before I just got a couple more pieces, fans. It was how much of this did I get, Cleveland? How much of this?
I get a pound of that.
Man, I can almost do another pound of this, but I lost a pound in the Super Bowl. But I almost just kind of fold it over, make a little sandwich, and yeah. Cleveland, you don't know how good this is, man. You don't know, man. This one again, all my chow chow's almost gone. The chow chow's almost gone. I got plenty of white sauce. So, fam, I'm just gonna make one more little medium sandwich and just fold it over. I'm just gonna dip it into the chow. Just dip my into the one more time. Just the white sauce. Man, this is so good. This is almost slap your mama good, Cleveland. What's up, Boots? I won the bet, man. So I got to eat my food, man. I got to Cleveland. Tell Boots what's going on right now.
Go ahead and tell him, Cam. It's your moment. It's your time to shine. So go ahead and tell them all about it.
See, Boots, Cleveland's a little salty right now. You didn't
Yeah,
notice.
get all into the
Boots,
sequence of events that led to this this situation.
if you didn't notice, Boots, Cleveland's a little salty right now. All right, let's get the show going, Cleveland. Let's get the show. Oh, that was succulent, man. Didn't it look good, Cleveland? Did it look good across the screen? I'm sorry, fans. I know it's one of the worst things you
comment on
supposed
the
to do.
aesthetic beauty of food. Either it tastes good or it didn't, and I'm not there, so I can't comment on it.
Boots, you see, he's salty. Boots, you see, I don't know what the show's gonna be like today because my man just salty all the way around. Yeah, man. So, whew, my mouth is ringing, but good thing I got some sweet tea. Cleveland. So we talked about a little bit last week, Cleveland. Leading up into the All-Star game on a Sunday special, we touched on kind of pointed out some things of kind of where the All-Star game went wrong. Man, I'm a little spicy. The white sauce is a little spicy too, Cleveland. A little spicy. But we talked about it of some of the reasons why the NBA All-Star game was not what it's been over the time, over the years. Let me say this real quick. Yeah, little Boots, little tasty sweet tea from down south in Alabama, Full Moon. I don't know if you've been in these parts, Boots.
Hey, Boots. He doesn't get the Pulp Fiction analogy, so it's a little over his head with that one.
It's a very tasty beverage, Boots, and I don't know if you've been in these parts, but this sweet tea is like no other down here in the South. But yo, I never want to hear an NBA player mention Mamba mentality in my life or in their lifetime. Because in my understanding, Mamba comes out and competes every game. He comes out and try to give it to his opponent, or he try to shut his opponent down. And that's not what we saw on Sunday in the NBA All-Star game. We talked about, I'm gonna get to who's to blame in a moment. But Cleveland, you tell me, do you want to talk about who's to blame or how they fix it? Which one you want to talk about?
Oh, we already know the players are to blame, but how do they fix it?
Well, there's one specific player who was to blame. Do you want? I'll get to that. How do they fix it? I mean,
what specific player? Oh man, I'm all ears. That one specific player ruined the All-Star game.
Yeah. Is that crazy to say?
That's crazy to say, but I'm all ears. Who's your one player that ruined the entire All-Star?
Hold on. I'm having some technical difficulties over here. Can you hear me, Cleveland?
I can hear you.
Yeah. I'm having some technical difficulties. Let me see if I can fix this. Okay, how you doing, Cleveland? You got me? Can you hear me?
I got you.
Okay, yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, one particular player. Let's talk about how they fix the game. Well, I'm sorry. I'll jump into it. Again, I'm a little frustrated, or I'm a little discombobulated, fans. My mouth is ringing. The white sauce has me a little, a little warm over here, warmer than normal. Cleveland, and Cleveland's salty over there. I don't know if you guys can tell or not. Cleveland's a little salty tonight. Cleveland, why are you so salty, man? Well, is it raining? Is it raining? Rain coming down today?
No salt here.
Bad day at work. I mean,
it's bringing up bad memories. Things from the past with regards to Dan Campbell's play calling and Anders Carlson's inability to hit field goals. But other than that, I'm okay.
Oh, here we go, Dick. Thank you, Brock. Thank you, Brock Purdy. Shout out to Brock Purdy for earning me this pound of tri-tip today. Again, it would have been 2, Brock. You could have had me 2 pounds. You could have had me 3 pounds, actually, Brock, if you pulled that game out. But it wasn't your fault. I understand it wasn't your fault because you had 2 game-winning drives in the Super Bowl. One in the fourth quarter and then one in overtime. It's just you was playing against the baddest quarterback we've seen in our lifetime. And we're going to talk a little bit about that as well, Cleveland, a little later. But who's to blame for the farce, for that fiasco we saw on Sunday? It's your guy LeBron James. We talked about this. During our Sunday special, when LeBron James, Kobe Bryant is on defense at the elbow. LeBron James is coming down on the wing, and he has a chance to go one-on-one head up against Kobe Bryant. LeBron passes the ball. He don't want to compete. He didn't want to compete with Kobe Bryant, or not on that level anyway. Not on that level anyway. So when the chips are on the table, LeBron James didn't want to compete, and that has filtered down through the NBA. We see Anthony Ant-Man coming to the game and shooting all left-handers. He doesn't want to compete. He doesn't want to put his best game out on the stage for the world to see. LeBron's demeanor. He's the face of the league, right? Are you going to argue that? Are you going to say today he's not the face of the league?
Depends on who you ask, Cam. I mean, if I'm asking you,
Cleveland. Is LeBron the face of the league? That's why I asked you the question. Is LeBron the face of the league?
I think he is the number one ambassador for the National Basketball Association. Is he the face of the league? I mean, that's up to other people to decide. I can't make that decision.
See how he's avoiding the question, fans? Do you see how he's avoiding the question? So if I remember correctly, like Magic and Bird kind of took the torch from Dr. J, right? Who Dr. J performed in a dunk contest, right? He went out there and did his thing. I don't know if you remember the afro flowing and everything, doing his thing in a dunk contest. Magic and Bird went and did their thing on the court, right? And kind of showed that they wanted to compete game in, game out. Anytime they saw each other on the court, Bird has a famous saying that he got a thrill out of not only winning the game, but knowing how bad it hurt Magic Johnson, knowing how he was suffering all summer long because he lost the finals, right? So that was a competitive spirit that these guys had. So when they get on the court, they're going to give it their best every time they get on the court. We don't see that from today's players. Michael Jordan came on with the same philosophy, that same concept. Obviously, he had the freeze-out situation with Isaiah Thomas. Outside of that, when Magic came back, Magic and Michael going at it. What you tell me, Cleveland, like a couple of days ago? Magic shot like he ain't never shot in his world, right? When competition, when the money's on the line and the best player is across from you, he turns it up a notch, doing things we hadn't seen Magic do in his whole career, right? When he shot, what did he shoot? 10 for 13 from three, and 3-pointers wasn't even a factor in the game at that time, right? And then obviously you have Kobe Bryant come in after that. You have Shaq just trying to dominate everybody at that. After that, you have Russell Westbrook. Every time he gets on the court, he don't know where the off switch is. You know what I'm saying? He like the Energizer Bunny. Compete. And your guy has a chance to compete and turns down the moment. He wasn't ready for that moment. He turned down the moment, and it filtered through the rest of the league now. And I'll get to it. So I'm blaming LeBron James on that. I'm blaming LeBron James and the mentality of not wanting to compete night in, night out has filtered down and ruined he's ruined the dunk contest by not competing in the dunk contest. We may get to that later, but certainly the All-Star game. Cleveland, am I wrong?
Oh yeah, Cam, you're wrong. But I mean, it's all in perspective,
Well, help me out. What perspective you want?
You decided a long time ago. It's not just one person that, if all the other players were super uber competitive and into the outcome of, the All-Star game, then it would be different, but they're not. That's unfortunate.
And they follow the lead. Like I'm saying, Michael and Magic, Larry Bird and Magic Johnson follow the lead of the
predecessors. Yeah, Kim, that was a long time ago. I mean, you're talking about.
They followed the lead of their predecessors. Michael Jordan followed the lead of his predecessors.
Hey, Cam, the league's evolved. it's not the same kind of league as when you grew up watching these games. I mean, it's not.
What I'm saying, you're missing the point. You're missing the point. I'm saying these guys followed the lead of their predecessors.
Yeah, Kim, you're missing the point. The motivation for winning an All-Star game is not the same as it was. The way the All-Star games play is not the same as it was.
So the motivation for getting out there and showing your stuff and being on the biggest stage around.
It's an exhibition in the true sense of the word exhibition. They are playing basketball. There are some rules and structures.
Now it's just an exposition.
It's a great big party. It's been that way for quite some time. So you just need to get with the times is all.
It's a great big party.
Kind of acting your age.
I'm acting my age. So it's no longer should we respect and expect competitors to compete. Is that what you're telling me?
Correct.
I just can't expect competitors to compete.
It's not going to be super uber competitive. The only thing that I can think of that can kind of bring some level of competition to it is if at the end of the game there was some type of kind of shootout type of scenario at the end where we're tied or something
they tried that with the Elam ending, playing each quarter, making each quarter game.
No. When I say shootout, I mean like we're down to this point. Okay, well, let's
they tried that with the Elam ending.
Put the wheel together and like pull out point guard versus point guard or forward versus forward or center versus center, and then you bring your best players out, play a three. Something like that.
I mean, your guy would say I'm good, and he wouldn't compete when they put a forward, whatever position. What position is LeBron? Is he the forward? Is he the shooter?
Well, I mean, LeBron can play like
small forward.
That's it's funny that you mentioned that, Cam, because your confusion comes from the fact that he can play so many different positions.
Well, what I'm trying to get at is you say guard against a guard or a shooter, a forward against a forward. As soon as they say, okay, LeBron, you're going against Giannis, he's gonna be like, no, I'm good.
Scenario. Right? Yeah, like Giannis would play power forward. Joel Embiid would play center. Joker would play center. You don't know where LeBron would play. That's interesting that you said that.
No, but to your point, I'm saying as soon as they say, okay, LeBron, you're up against Giannis. No, I'm good. LeBron, you're up against KD. No, I don't.
You don't know why are you putting words in the King's mouth. Like you don't know what the King's gonna say.
Well, I'm just going off of what he's already shown us. He's already shown us he's not competing.
That one time in that one All-Star game, like 7 years ago. I mean,
he's been in the NBA 20 years and not competing in the dunk contest.
How many All-Star games has he been in?
He's not competed in the dunk.
And that's in that 20 years, Cam, that you keep knocking him for. How many All-Star games has he been in?
I don't know. I mean, that's irrelevant. What I'm talking about competition.
It's 20 out of 20, right? Yeah.
Is it 20 out of 20? I don't know.
It's 20 out of 20.
Okay.
It's Tommy missed the All-Star game? Probably can't. Don't rack your brain too tough about it.
Again, you're off on a different tangent. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about his competitive. No doubt he's got there. No doubt he's in.
Why are you putting the competitive nature of an All-Star game all on one player and no one competes hard? And it's not because
he's the leader of the league. He's the face of the league. Are you not?
No.
You're not. So he's not the face of the league, is what you're telling me.
Jordan's been the face of the league. Kobe's been the face of the league.
Do we have any problem with Jordan competing in the All-Star game?
Yeah, but he's not bringing the whole Eastern Conference with him to compete at that level. And Kobe wasn't bringing the whole Western Conference to compete at that level.
Well, he had Shaq and everybody else was competing. Everybody else was competing at that time. So now now nobody's competing. Now you don't want to bring up the face of the league.
Bring up all stuff. The NBA All-Star game is not about like competition, like who's the baddest. It's a party.
Okay, so how do we fix this? Like they fix they fix your in-season tournament that you like so much, you were so excited about. They threw $500,000 per person. I say, if they're gonna do $500,000 per person, it should be or $500,000 per.
Cam, why is the All-Star game so important to you?
It's a showcase of talent, Cleveland. It's a showcase of talent. Why are you guys just up there running up and down the court?
It's a beauty pageant. It's like you guys
Oh,
are
so
the fans.
you enjoyed 211 points. That was enjoyable to you. You enjoyed that. You watched that game and was
Cool. I mean,
satisfied.
you saw what players could do. I mean, they were comfortable. They were in their environment. It was in Indianapolis. I mean, how competitive do you expect it to be?
What do you mean? Where was that? It could have been played in Miami.
Oh no,
That
they're
was still
showing out a little
that's
bit
still a
more in
bad
LA.
game.
They're showing out a little bit more in Vegas. They're showing
Why?
out a little bit more in Houston. They're showing out a little
Why
bit
do
more
you?
in
How do you think that? How do you think that's the case? Why do you think that's the case?
because there's nothing in Indianapolis, Indiana that will bring you there. It's not a destination city. There's nothing there other than a few.
I'm not sure what the gym had to do. The gym floor had to do with the location of the gym floor. I'm not sure what that had to do with anything.
Oh man, it was a lackluster. It was a courtesy because you have to give everybody a chance to have it at least once, right? But nobody was going there. There's no energy in the building. Nobody really cared.
No, nobody cared. That's interesting you say that. So shout out to our fans in Indiana. Cleveland just shit all over the whole state of Indianapolis. What's up with that, Cleveland?
With regards to an all-star
everywhere. There's basketball fans everywhere.
Forum and setting. It's not going to be the same thing.
So it's in Golden State next year. It's going to be a different game next year. It's in San Francisco
for sure.
I'm not fans. Come on, Cleveland is off base. You guys have to agree with this. If
no,
you don't agree, you guys don't agree with me saying who ruined the game. You have to agree with me that saying the location doesn't matter. Cleveland saying because nobody
100% matters.
That was televised. That was televised across the world. So whether it was in
all the All-Star games are televised across the world,
whether it was Indianapolis or Utah, Salt Lake City, that was everybody tuned in to see that.
Sacramento, keep naming those markets where maybe not getting your best effort. Maybe some of those guys.
See, this Boots. I don't know. You and Cleveland must be texting each other.
It's not great in February. Thank you, Boots.
You guys must be texting. You guys got to be texting each other.
No, it's just painfully obvious. Some of the things that other people see that you just don't understand.
Again, the game was televised and broadcast. I'm not sure. Do you get TNT where you are?
He most certainly does.
Do you get TNT where you are?
Me?
Up in the state of Washington, do you get TNT? Yeah. I'm down here in Alabama. I get TNT. That means TNT is spread out across the nation, if not the world, Cleveland.
Okay. And your point is?
Because it's in Indiana, it could be in Hawaii. It could be in Alaska. The court's a court. The game is the game.
Right, Cam, but we're talking about the level of urgency and the participation of the players. Yes, it's not going to be a thing.
You coming up with excuses. First,
you want me to name you the top? You want me to name you the top 5 teams, top 5 cities that the All-Star game is going to be lackluster? Would you like me to go through that list real quick?
You're gonna bring up Sacramento. You're gonna try to bring up Sacramento as well.
Indianapolis, Oklahoma City, Utah.
Look, fans, this is not
Sacramento.
Me. This is not me. Cleveland just shitting
Those
on the whole
5 cities. The All-Star game is not going to be cracking. I'm so sorry. The players aren't going to care.
Man. So 4 inches was good. Bootzilla 4 inches was okay because they did show a lot of pictures of it snowing that come game day. 4 inches was good, huh? Fans again. That's Cleveland shitting on half the nation. Half the nation.
Just 5 cities. Just 5 of the NBA cities that the All-Star game shouldn't go to. But of course you got to because you have to acquiesce to the owners. They're billionaires. So, hey, can I have it? Yeah, sure. Not a whole lot, I don't want to do this all the time, but sure. It's been a while since you had it. Yeah.
So he doesn't want to blame the lackluster All-Star game on the players competing on the court, indoors on the court, on a professional basketball court, I might add. He wants to say it's based on location. Come on, man. Come on, Cleveland. Come on. Yeah, I'm not buying it, Bootzilla. Okay. Well, We're talking about it here.
He's talking about the weather, the environment, and the inclement weather makes a difference in how, the turnout and who's there and why it's important. It's a thing.
What? So we didn't see Fat Joe. We didn't see Fat Joe on the sideline. Fat Joe wasn't sitting front row. Who's the movie producer? Spike Lee wasn't sitting front row, huh? Jennifer Hudson didn't sing her heart out during the game. We didn't see Babyface do the Star Spangled Banner. We didn't have all the attraction that was there because it was in Indiana. Or is that what you're trying to give us?
Yeah,
cut it out, man. Cut it out. Stop. Okay, so he wants to blame no location. This is the fans. You guys got to tune in and help me out on this one, man. This is a absolutely. I can't believe he's coming. Well, he's defending this guy, so I can't believe.
No, because the fans also understand where I'm coming from with this. That's why you haven't heard anything to the contrary.
See, so something goes on in Indianapolis. They like basketball. They had Larry Bird showed up to the game. But that wasn't enough.
From French Lick, Indiana. So what?
Oh my goodness, this guy. So how do you fix it then, Cleveland?
There's no fixing it, man. It's just a sign of the times, man. You just have to understand it's an exhibition game, and you get what you get.
I say money. Adam, offer him the $500,000 in his win.
No, that's not enough of a motivation for them at this point.
It worked for the in-season tournament. All you guys were talking about, the $500K.
And that's for prestige. That's for bragging rights. I mean, those are actual team awards. This is just an all-star game.
So an all-star game where your individual image and persona can be elevated is not enough. Now it's a team aspect.
Yeah.
Would USA versus world, would that change things? Do you think the guys
already talked about that, man? I mean, possibly, but you got to have a few more heavyweights on the world side, and then maybe so.
A few more heavyweights on the world side.
Yeah, they're almost enough to fill out a roster. Certainly to be competitive for sure. Yeah.
Wait.
But then the players have to also buy into that, right? And then all of a sudden you're kind of, separating, teammates from one another just because they're from a different country. I mean, that's rough. It's rough.
I mean, come on, Cleveland.
All of a sudden,
if you have Luka, SGA, Giannis, Jokic, Embiid, and
they have teammates that they have to go against as well.
I understand.
And the only reason they're not playing with their teammates, from a conference standpoint, is because they're from another part of the world. What's the difference? Jason Tatum played against Jaylen Brown when the players were picking. When they had. They went away from it. They decided they didn't like that.
But again, this would be USA versus the world. Do you think Curry? Do you think Stephen Curry, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Jason Tatum, would they get excited when they see Luka Doncic on the one side of the court, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Nikola Jokic, Joel Embiid, Victor Wembanyama? Do you think they would play any harder if they have those guys on the other side of the court trying to embarrass them? Wemby doing the sham god, Wemby doing the J crossover on somebody.
I won the game was at.
Why does the damn game location have anything to do with the basketball? Once you get on the court, it's 94 feet.
It's the atmosphere and everything else that's going on around it. Like you said,
is it a party or not? Do you bring? Are you the party, or do you have to go to the party? These are NBA players with millions in their whole entourage and everything that they bring to the table.
Yeah. What city is more equipped to have a really big party? Las Vegas, Nevada, or Indianapolis, Indiana?
Here we go. Indianapolis, they have the combine every year. The combine is up there. They have March Madness up there every year. What are you talking about? They're equipped. They have Super Bowls has been there. Why aren't they equipped to have a big event? They've only had the All-Star game one time in Las Vegas. I know you don't want to hear it, but they've had the All-Star game one time in NBA history in Las Vegas. And some would argue that there were probably too much going on that weekend. Some would argue there were probably too much going on, and we might not want to do that right away. And so it's been, I think, what was that, 2018? So we're going on 15 plus years before the NBA revisited that topic. So what?
I'm going to say this again. When the All-Star game is in Oklahoma City, Milwaukee,
that's not
Indianapolis, Utah,
that's
it's not going to have the same reception as when it's in Los Angeles, Las Vegas.
How can the fans get in touch with you, Cleveland?
Houston,
how can the fans get in touch with you, Cleveland? Let the fans know how they can, because that's not me.
At Clevie Wonder on Twitter and Cleveland Steel on Instagram. Cleveland Wonder also on TikTok.
I didn't say that, fans. That's Cleveland.
Yeah, I said it.
That's good.
Yeah, those are not party towns that I just mentioned. So sorry.
Look, it's a great party city. What are you talking about? Go get at them, Boots. They have a steak and shake downtown.
Okay.
Indianapolis is a city I've never been to, so I cannot confirm nor deny.
Mm-hmm.
Cannot confirm or deny. Cleveland. Mm-hmm. So okay. This guy. He said money incentives won't work. It worked for the in-season tournament, but it won't work for the All-Star game. He doesn't like the USA versus world.
That's okay. That's impossible. Get a few more players and make it a little bit more formidable. But again, it's up to the players to decide that it means something to them. Like, you want to give all these incentives to like an exhibition game, and they're just, they're not doing that right now.
Did you enjoy any part of the All-Star weekend?
Yeah, Steph's Sabrina shootout was dope.
I mean, the skills competition was corny. The dunk contest, I give it a C. Stephen Ionescu was the Dame winning the 3-point contest was obviously he winning on the last couple of shots. That was good. Stephen Ionescu obviously was an A+. What do you think of Kenny Smith getting a lot of flack for saying that she should have shot for the women's tees or from the women line?
I agreed with it. I don't understand where all the controversy is coming from. I thought that's the way it was going to be from the beginning, and it was like some type of, it's like a welterweight stepping up to middleweight, but you could just fight at welterweight. Like why are you trying to extend where you usually shoot from by that much? And he explained it. It was like, it's all muscle memory. It's like, that's what you do. That's where you're shooting from. It's like, she's clearly blowing Steph out the water if she was shooting from the WNBA line.
You think?
Oh, man. She put the fear of God in him from the NBA 3-point line. If she was shooting from her line, oh, man. No way he gets her.
So do you do this again next year? Do you put if Caitlin Clark comes out, do you put Caitlin Clark up against Dame Lillard next year?
Well, we'll see what Caitlin Clark does, because fortunately for us, they play their All-Star game before the next All-Star game. So we'll see. She was 19 out of 20. Last year, it's not like they just threw her in there for no reason. And if she was still shooting from the line, from her line, oh no way.
Now this is a topic that we've touched before, at kind of at length. But what do you think on? KD is already admitted as such. But what are your thoughts on Barkley saying KD ain't a leader?
KD's not a leader. Why does KD want to be a leader? This is one of those things that we go back to, man. Just do what you do. The problem comes when people want to heap all of these other responsibilities upon players that they're just not equipped to handle and never have been and never told you that that's what they do. Where has KB?
I
Where
wouldn't
has KB
say I
ever
wouldn't
been a
say
leader?
I wouldn't say he's not equipped. I'm not gonna go that.
Where has he ever been a leader?
He hasn't, and that was my argument in OKC. I mean, he and he's admitted saying I'd rather just play hoop. He said that.
Okay,
And then, but to my question for him, which I would ask off camera, just so I can get a real answer, is KD. You're arguably one of the greatest scorers in the game ever that most people have ever seen. Arguably one of the greatest. By the time you're done, you're going to be in the top 5 in scoring. Is it important for you to be one of the best players that ever played a game? That's what I would ask. And
but you're going to get a different narrative. His idea of what's the criteria for that, has changed.
Again, that's why I would say. That's why I say I would ask him off camera. I wouldn't ask him that on camera because he'd be like, "I'm already one of the best," and what does it matter if I'm 3 or 1 or 4 or 2? I mean, what does it matter? I'm already.
You got to understand, Kevin Durant is already not willing to admit that he went to a team that was 73-9 when he went there.
Again, but see even still,
the league when he went there.
Even
they won 2 consecutive championships and should have won 3, except for he ruptured his Achilles tendon. And then he went somewhere else, couldn't win there, and now he's somewhere else, and we'll see.
No, they ain't gonna win it.
It's far too late in his career for him to think that he's going to win a championship, but maybe not.
No, they're not winning.
We don't know. We don't know. We don't know how these things turn out
against the Western Conference.
Well, look at him all of a sudden understanding how the second round works. But anyways, I mean, we'll figure it out. We don't know who's there yet.
Again, that's why 100% I would ask him off camera because the answer I know would be different. But if I broke it down,
different. He's already delusional enough to think that
it would be different.
That he's already there and doesn't need it. He doesn't feel he needs any more validation to his career.
Yeah.
No. Why? It would be like if Tiger Woods is teeing off from the men's tee and the U.S. Open Women's Champion is teeing off from the women's tee.
Because they're trying to keep it as close as possible. I mean, if
the only
like I said, give Steph the girls' ball. And even it up that way.
Right. You guys are just twisting this all around, man. You just have her shoot from where she shoots from and have him shoot from where he shoots from. And figure it out. If they were doing that, there's no way Steph would win.
There's no way Steph will win, he said. Steph, you hear that? You hear that, Steph? So yeah, I think KD's answer would be better, but yeah, he's not a leader. So Barkley didn't say anything wrong. He admitted as such in his little interview with his agent and saying, KD's a gym rat. That's not hard to tell. I mean, you could tell that when
he loves hoop. He's a hooper. All the other things that go along with it, being your franchise player and your ambassador, and articulate and the face of the franchise and lockdown defender and holding cats accountable and
yeah, but if as good as he is, some of that shouldn't be important. Some of that should be important to you, bro. If you know you're the best player on the team, the best
He's
player
not good at any of those things.
The best player on the team.
Why haven't your Los Angeles Clippers taken the next step? We've talked about this ad nauseum. It's because what? Because Kawhi Leonard's not a good leader.
We know.
He wants to play basketball and not talk to anybody. And when the game's over, he wants to get dressed and walk off and get in his car and drive off by himself.
Well, he has a little uncle with him too.
He has what?
He has his uncle with him that's there carrying his bag every game.
He's not a leader.
Yes, you're right. And Paul George is a follower.
Then you're fooling yourself. You're setting yourself up for disappointment. That's not what he does. It's not what KD does.
Is yes, you're absolutely correct. Yes, you're not wrong. It's obvious. It's been in his 12-year how long KD been in the league?
Oh God.
15 years
Oh,
now.
8. So what, 16
2000
years now?
08, yeah.
16 years.
Time is flying. Yes, and what they say, leopards don't change their spots. So it is what it is. However, the best player on your team, like it's hard for Pat Beverly. It should be hard. It's not, but it's hard for a guy like Pat Beverly to go on a team and automatically become the leader, right? He can be as vocal as he want, play as hard as he want, but for guys to follow Pat Bev, that shouldn't happen. But because he played for the Clippers where Kawhi Leonard didn't want to be a leader, he gladly stepped into a role, such a role, right? In Milwaukee, he's going to gladly step into a role. Not that Dame or Giannis aren't leaders, but because they're not vocal leaders. Pat Bev wants to talk, wants to run his mouth and go tell everybody to get here, get there, and it's all in good spirit, the spirit of the game. But Dame and Giannis just aren't going to do it in that way, in that sense. You know what I'm saying? They're kind of leaders by example, more so. So that opens up the area for Dame Lillard or for Patrick Beverly. However, that's not saying that that's how it should be done. You would expect that from Dame. You would expect Dame or Giannis to take that horn, to take that leadership opportunity, become the leaders of their team. You should expect that, and you should expect that from Kevin Durant because he's clearly and by far better than most players he played with. But when we go back and think about it, that was a problem with OKC. He was just going to let Russ do his thing. That was a problem in Brooklyn. He just let Kyrie do his thing until Kyrie ran off fired the coach, said we don't need a head coach, we don't need this and that, and then he ran off the rails. That was a problem, and James Harden saw that and said, "I'm out of here. I'm not going to play with you guys." So that's been a problem. If he can go to a team like Golden State and just does what he wants to do, come out there and play basketball. You guys hit me when you need that three, or hit me when you need that big bucket, and then you see that's when his he rises to that. Well, not even rises to that level. That's when you see the best out of Kevin Durant. So in Phoenix, if Phoenix going to win, I'd love for Kevin Durant to win a championship, but I don't know that Devin Booker. I kind of believe, and this is I kind of believe that Devin Booker is a lot like Kevin Durant. Well, he may want to be the leader. Devin Booker, I would say, actually wants to be a leader, but I don't think he has that leadership in him. Now, he played with Chris Paul. Chris Paul was supposed to instill some of that leadership, teach him more how to be a leader. I haven't seen the remnants of him playing with Chris Paul and him picking up that leadership, intangible, and being a better leader for the Phoenix Suns. I haven't seen it. Now. I'm not at every one of their games.
You can't make someone want to be a leader. We can show them what a leader does and how they do it.
Yeah.
And whatever your style is great. But if that's, like you say, if that's not what you do, that's not what you do.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't think Phoenix is actually going to reach their pinnacle, because now you have Bradley Beal who only plays half their games, so he can't be the leader. Devin Booker, he and Kevin Durant are a lot alike, where they really just want to hoop, and they need somebody to kind of not put the battery in their back. Is not the exact terminology, because they both want to hoop, but they need somebody to come and take the reins of the team.
All of those other responsibilities that come with leadership, because they just want to hoop.
Yeah, and that's, I think, is ultimately going to be their downfall. And plus missing Bradley Beal for half the games in the season.
Second round's coming around, man. What happens if Bradley's healthy though?
We'll see. We'll see. Can he put it in? Can he put the ball in the hoop? We'll see.
That's not a problem. The question is if he's healthy enough to do it, not whether he's capable of doing it or not.
So last week we talked about some of the best stories of the first half of the season. What are the storylines you're looking forward to seeing the second half of this NBA season? I got a few, but I'm gonna let you go ahead and mention Mention yours.
Number one, we'll see how far the Philadelphia 76ers fall without Joel Embiid and when he will return and what the impact of his return will be. That's got to be the number one storyline going into the second half of the season. Number two will be the health of the Los Angeles Clippers. If they're healthy, they could very well, be a 1, 2, or 3 seed in the West. And make things very complicated for a lot of other teams.
Now you were being very facetious all summer long in regards to the Harden trade. The Clippers acquiring Harden. Not that they've acquired Harden, and they have the best record they've had in franchise history going into the All-Star game. Are you seeing anything different than you thought originally? Is this what you anticipated? Explain what your thoughts are on what's going on with the Clippers.
No, they're playing great. They've they've found their groove. They've got some chemistry. Everyone seems to be for the most part healthy going into this whole thing. Now, where it goes after that, I'll see you in the second round. Sorry to sound like a broken record, fans, but that's really where it gets down. It's positioning. We'll see what happens in the first round. We'll see how teams come out, with regards to injury. But we're not going to know who the Clippers are.
I try to draw some honesty out of him, fans, but he just refuses to be honest about the Clippers.
How am I being dishonest about the Clippers?
I mean, I've said it before. It all comes down to the second round. I said it before.
Yeah.
I mean, you said that without Harden.
So if they're playing the Denver Nuggets in the second round, who you got, the Denver Nuggets or the Clippers?
I think the Clippers are ready for this. They owe Denver something.
Okay, cool. Well, you're all drinking the Thai. Was the Thai Lu sweet tea that you was drinking?
No, I'm gonna have some more folk.
Oh, I see it. T. Lou signed it. Oh, okay. Cool.
So what's your third story? You got Embiid in the Sixers, and then the health of the Clippers. What else you
got? What is Doc Rivers going to do with all of this wealth that he's been handed, like placed in his hands? Is he going to let it slip through his fingers again, like when he had Blake Griffin and Chris Paul and DeAndre Jordan and JJ Redick, or like when he had Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons and couldn't get out of the second round?
Oh, shots fired.
And Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Shots fired.
And he's supposed to be the difference to get them over the hump. We'll see. That's certainly story number 3.
Shots fired. My goodness gracious. That's boy. You should just shooting out the whole NBA. You shot out OKC, Sacramento, Indianapolis. What other cities?
I said those cities shouldn't have all-star games.
Utah.
They have to.
And now you shooting down Milwaukee Bucks. You done shut out half the league tonight. Cleveland, use a cold one, bro. Use a cold one. He didn't shut down half the league.
It gets to this time of the year, Cam, it gets awfully cold, and it's not personal. It's just reality. I'm so sorry. That's what makes the NBA so intriguing. That's what gets it going, man. We'll just find out. If I'm wrong, okay. So sorry. But I'm not.
Cleveland just shut out half the league in the first hour of the show. In the first hour of the show, Cleveland just shut out half the league.
And all I said is some cities that probably shouldn't host all-star games. That's all I said. And then what are the biggest storylines? Like, yeah, let's find out.
So what I got is let's look at it like this way. Obviously, the Clippers are a big story. You got it right. Doc is a big story. I'm surprised you didn't say your Lakers though. You don't want to add the Lakers into there?
Not ready to be a big story just yet. They haven't proved anything.
I mean, what are you talking about? They're talking about every single day. Should they make a move?
Well, that's the Los Angeles Lakers. There's no moves to be made at this point. All the trade deadline's over. They didn't
Well,
get
they
any
got
better.
Spencer Dinwiddie. Is Spencer Dinwiddie going to be a factor? You didn't bring Spencer Dinwiddie up at all.
Spencer Dinwiddie is not going to be the difference between Lakers winning or not winning.
You didn't mention nothing about AD. You didn't mention nothing about his health. You have to be
Hope he
surprised.
stays healthy.
AD's played like 90% of the games this season.
Sure.
But you, I mean, you don't say that's normal to you.
No, that's extremely unusual. To this point, he's probably, typically missed 30 to 40 games.
So then by those standards, he should miss the next half of the season.
Hey,
but
Cam,
you don't want to talk about
every time he steps on the court. I'm knocking on wood, man.
So Doc Rivers is a health. Doc Rivers, excuse me, is another good topic. That's a good one to point out. I got Lakers health. I want to see these young guys step up. I want to see if Minnesota for real. Do you believe in the T-Wolves yet?
No.
I mean, they're leading the Western Conference.
Sure are.
I mean, you can't. We're halfway through the season. We're not even halfway through the season. We're 2/3 through the season right now. 30 games left. The Timberwolves. I mean, they're playing great defense. Anthony Edwards can score with the best of them. Your guy Cat had 50 again.
62, didn't he?
That monster. I mean, stat monger right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. T-Wolves boots. That's a big story for me. In the second half of the season, can the T-Wolves hang on? That's what I was saying. Are they for real? We'll see. We have the second half of the season to see. And then can Denver repeat? I mean, that has to be. Can the champs repeat? I mean, that's has to be. I mean, I think they're just pacing themselves. They won it already, right? So right now they're just pacing themselves through the season. They're not playing for a number one seed. They're just playing to get, looking for the playoffs, right? And so can they repeat? That's one of my stories of the second half of the season. Also, I want to be looking at the Heat, Magic, Bulls, and Hawks. They're 7 through 10. Which one of those teams make it into the actual playoffs? Those are in the play-in tournament right now. And which one of these teams actually make the playoffs? And then is there one of these teams that'll fall out of the playoff contention? Heat, Magic, Bulls, and Hawks. Do any of these guys separate themselves?
Heat make the playoffs. I don't know who the 11th seed is, so I can't say who's going to fall out. Potentially.
You can't say who's going to fall out.
Who's
the Hawks are number 10.
Okay,
so who's behind the Hawks? I'll tell you. Give me 30 seconds. I'll tell you. Fans, I don't know. Something real dope, fans. I don't know if why I looked this up. If you guys had a chance to check out voiceofthefans.org, voiceofthefans.org has some very thoughtful articles that are on there by Cleveland and myself. And additionally, Cleveland, there's a feature on that website that allows you to has a linker to the sports reference history that allows you guys to check out when you read the article. You can automatically click on the name of the player, whoever it may be, because there's a hyperlink there that allow you access to the sports reference, just to give you guys some added knowledge and history for the articles that you're reading there. But who's in 11th place is the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah. So to answer your question, Atlanta's in trouble.
Brooklyn Nets, who just fired their head coach. The Toronto Raptors, Charlotte Hornets, Washington Wizards, Detroit. Washington and Detroit have single digit wins this season. So they're only Atlanta Hawks are only 2 games ahead of Brooklyn.
Yeah, Brooklyn has
5 games ahead of Toronto and 10 games ahead of Charlotte.
Brooklyn has a chance.
Okay.
They got rid of Jacques Vaughn, which is thank goodness.
Yeah, I'm not sure. He's clearly a good guy. He's been in the league for a while. People like him. That's how he keeps getting jobs. But I haven't been impressed with him as a coach at all. No. So in the Western Conference, Mavericks, Kings, Lakers, and Warriors are 7 through 10. Who makes the playoffs out of this bunch, and who falls out of playoff contention? For the Warriors are
Now,
10.
The Kings fall out of playoff contention.
Ooh, man,
That's thick.
yeah, I was talking big stuff about the Kings last season.
There were.
Making it to number 2.
Oh no, all season long. It's weird how your voice got all raspy all of a sudden now that we're kind of turning the corner. Yeah, you ain't been shouting the praises of Mike Brown and Keegan Murray in quite some time, homie. You ain't rocking the Sabonis jersey no more. Woo! The Sabonis jersey that fall off your wall.
Never had a fans. I ain't worried. I don't know about you, but I haven't put a jersey on. Shit, 30 years now.
Fans, I put a jersey on every day, especially in the summertime. Oh, that's when the ensemble. That's when the full plethora of jerseys comes out.
So yeah, so the Kings are number 8 right now.
Okay.
Just a couple games ahead of the Lakers. 2.5 games in front of the Warriors. Utah is number 11, and they're 2 games ahead of 2 games behind, 2.5 games behind Golden State. Houston is 3.5 games behind Golden State. Memphis is
17 and a half, 18 and a half.
They're only behind Golden State, behind the number 10 mark. They're only 8.5. I mean, I doubt they'll catch them, but they're only 8.5 behind. I mean, I don't know. They could be turning the corner. They beat Milwaukee Bucks last week, so we don't know. You might not be able to. You might be able to have to give your guy.
Sure, Cam. Yeah.
You might have to give your guy Taylor.
Yeah, you might have to go back into the locker. You might have to drop to Memphis, go back in the locker room, put your arm around my man one more time. Explain how this NBA thing works, like in real life.
Cleveland.
What you telling Cam? Son, let me talk to you for a minute. Your expectations are far too unrealistic. I don't want to see you do that to yourself, son.
Fans, what Cleveland is talking about. I was in the locker room last year, and this is probably around this time, give or take a few weeks, because it was the playoff time. It was playoff time. It was the race for the playoff seeding, right?
The playoff race, building at the playoff time.
And I asked Desmond Bain. I said, "Yo, Desmond, like, what does this team need, to kind of take the next step in the playoffs?" And before I could finish my sentence, Desmond Bain was like, "Nothing. We're good." I was like, "Come on, come on."
And what were his aspirations and goals?
Let's be real. Oh yeah, finals.
Finals. With the roster that they had in place right then.
That was hysterical. All right. Who finishes as league MVP? Tatum, Luka, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander? Who finishes?
I'm sorry, who's the other person you didn't mention, like purposely not to mention them?
Who's that?
It's the Joker. Yeah.
You think he's gonna finish MVP?
Yeah, I think so.
So Luka don't have a chance. Tatum don't have a chance.
Nope, neither one of those two have a chance.
SGA
has a chance. Thanks, Boots. I mean, for stating the obvious, yeah.
Wow. Who do you have a defensive player of the year? Who's gonna get that award?
Is it Gobert?
As of now, it has to be Gobert. It has to be Rudy. Who's your coach of the year?
Whoever the coach is in Minnesota, he's done a fantastic job so far this regular season.
Chris Finch. You don't think Mark Daigneault or Joe Mazzulla? I think if Joe Mazzulla is the Boston finishes with the best record. I mean, they've done this as long as he's been in the head coach. They haven't finished less than top 2.
He's only been the head coach for this is only his second season. Don't make it seem like it's been like 10 years.
Okay, but Cleveland, you yourself expected them to fall off last season after firing their head coach, right?
Yeah.
So they didn't. I mean, they made
right,
they didn't make it to the
but
finals,
you saw what happened in the Eastern Conference Finals. They probably needed the other guy.
But see, that's okay.
The hurdle, right?
Okay. See, that's the. I'm not a fan of Boston, but I'm trying to give him some respect.
No, you're trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, but you know if Udoka was the coach, they wouldn't have went down 0-3, right?
Well, I blame some of that on the players.
Why is that so hard to say?
No, because
down 0-3.
Because so here, when you say this, it's interesting now that you're speaking to coaches, and I'm about it. We kind of have a role reversal right now because I'm gonna go to the players in this situation. When you usually don't want to give the coach any credit, but now you're saying Udoka would be the difference there. But I'm saying the players who have already been there should have been the difference in that series. Like that's why I struggle to give Boston the nod, is because Tatum and Brown, they're young, but they went to the finals in the previous year. Like they know what this time is like. But to use your phrase, one of the phrases you like to use, they play with their food, and so it's hard to trust what they do. And so I'm trying to say Joe Mazzulla again. They were top, if I remember correctly, they were top 2 last year. They were no less than 3rd in the East.
So you want them to coach themselves, but when they have a good record, you want to give the coach of the year.
No, it's not.
Makes no sense.
Nothing like that. No, it's not even nothing like that. You want to give coach Chris Finch is doing a great job. Mark Daigneault having the Clippers or having to go the Thunder, where they are, has doing a great job. Joe Mazzulla has the best record in the NBA. So that's why I mentioned him. And this team collectively, they should be like the favorite going into to reach the NBA finals. Certainly out of the East. However, I just don't trust them. And where I think the players, I trust the players less than I blame the players less than I blame Joe Mazzulla, but nonetheless, I still don't trust him. That's my problem with the Boston Celtics. But I'm just trying to say they do have the best record, trying to give them some recognition for having the best record. But probably who's doing the best job, it might be Mark Daigneault, because we didn't expect these guys to be competing for top place in the Western Conference. And they're right there. They're in the top 3 of a brutal Western Conference with the Clippers, with the Timberwolves. Chris Finch wouldn't be a bad decision either. But I would lean toward Daigneault over Joe Mazzulla, because I think that's a more, and it's crazy to say that these guys have been in the league 5 years. It's a veteran team. However, it is, I mean, when you look at Tatum and Brown being where they've been in the 5 years that they've been in the league, they are kind of like veterans with the experience of making deep playoff runs. I mean, that adds to your that gives you more experience, right? So they should benefit from that going into the playoffs. However, I just don't trust them because they play. Most improved player. Who would you give that to? See, I feel you, man. Exactly. They do fall in love with the 3 too much, and when Tatum and Brown can just go get an easy 2 bucket. I mean, and again, to say that Mazzulla will tell you that they need to shoot more threes, but that's not always a recipe, man. Now they got 2-point guards on their team. They got White on their team, and they got I'm having a brain fart. The guy they got from Milwaukee, the other defensive point guard on the team. Like they're
Your
Drew
Holiday.
Holiday. Yeah, there should be no stopping those guys. Really, I just don't. I just don't trust them. Man. Most improved.
I guess it would be as far as most improved player. I'm kind of leaning towards Tyrese Maxey. Seems like he's kind of taking that step to possibly being in the I don't want to say superstar conversation, but all-star. Yeah,
I think I had that at the beginning of the season, Cleveland, and you told me no, Maxey can't feel Harden shoes.
I
I
didn't
think I
think
told. I think I told you that with him having the ball in his hands, he's able to score. He's a willing passer. It's unfortunate that Joel Embiid went down because I'm not going to say that Maxey is going to carry them past the second round, but he was a very good complement to Joel Embiid and what he can do. So again, I don't have the confidence of him, even with Buddy Hield, even with Tobias Harris stepping his game up slightly. I don't have the confidence of them carrying the Sixers past the second round. But I thought Maxey would be a very good at his growth, his willingness to be better. I thought he was the best player. Yeah, you're right. He has the best record, so you're right. I agree with you, but I just don't trust the roster. The players on the roster, I should say. You're talking about Boston, I'm assuming. SB. Wrong, Tyrese. Tyrese is Halliburton. Yeah.
most improved. Wow. Okay.
I mean, I could see it, but is Halliburton? I could see it. I can't see it. I can't see that. To be honest with you, I thought when they gave him that $200 million, I was surprised that he got the $200 million so quickly. I can't say that, but he showed that he's earned it in he's up in Indiana. He showed it that he's earned it in Indiana's eyes, and the Pacers' eyes. He showed that he's earned it. He showed that it's worthy. I don't know if I expect Halliburton to carry the Pacers further than I expect Maxey to carry the 76ers.
Better question to that scenario is, what do the Pacers do when Siakam and Halliburton don't carry them past the second round?
Oh well, they say they need another piece. I mean that's what's going to be. That's
really? More pieces.
That's what's going to be said. I mean, they need Mathurin to play like he's a to take another.
So then wait for Mathurin to mature.
I mean, take another step. I mean, truthfully, where is the Pacers? I mean, truthfully, anybody going into the season, except unless you're in Indiana, expected the Pacers to be where they were.
Well, that's great. They're here. That's why they traded for Siakam to get them past the second round. But I don't.
They're
I'm
six.
not confident that they will get past the second round.
Again, they're six in the Eastern Conference. I mean, they're six in the Eastern Conference. They're one game, a half game ahead of the Heat. Again, that's probably where they're supposed to be.
Oh wow.
So that's probably where. So they play. Wow, this would be a hell of a series. They would play in the first round of playoffs. They're Milwaukee versus Indiana. There's already some beef there. Remember the Pacers kept Giannis's ball.
Yeah, and who's in fifth place?
Philadelphia.
Okay, well they're going to fall at 6, right? Because Embiid's not coming back till much later.
Again, they're two games. There's a 2-game difference. Again, what I just said. I personally would expect Maxey to carry the Sixers further than I expect Embiid to carry the Pacers. That's not saying anything.
Whoa, change that up because you said some things really wrong.
No, I didn't. I said Maxey. I expect Maxey
to carry the Pacers, and I got really, really confused.
No,
so
no.
please explain.
I said Maxey to carry the Sixers further than, Halliburton to carry the Pacers.
Oh no, that's not happening.
I don't know. I don't. I do. I'd expect more out of Maxey and the Sixers than Halliburton and the Pacers. We'll see. I mean, they're 2 games apart, so they're 2 games apart. It's not Halliburton. He was an All-Star last year. Maxey was not. Great point. Boots. Yeah, I was thinking that I was thinking that earlier. He might not be eligible because of injury. Because he's missed a bunch of games. But yeah, I would expect more out of Maxey though. Going. But that's a good debate. I mean, it's going to be one of those two guys. Appreciate you guys' help there. Okay, Cleveland. Let's finish up on our basketball. We got a couple of things to talk about more in basketball. Vince Carter confirms reports that LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Vince Carter, and Tracy McGrady were offered $1 million each just to compete in the dunk contest. Now I don't know. We're hearing about this now. I don't know when this would have been. Vince Carter won the dunk contest in 2000. I don't know when this might have been. It'd be interesting. I wish I could have found. I couldn't research. I couldn't find a date on this. But LeBron came in the league 2003. So Kobe at that time Kobe won the championship in 2007. 2009, 2010. Where was Vince Carter in 2010? Where was Tracy McGrady 2010? I don't see Kobe at that stage. If this had to be in 2007, 2008, when Kobe won championship 4 and 5, he wasn't competing in a dunk contest. So I don't know. I would
which one did he win? 98, 90?
Like he was a rookie in 96, so 96, 97, somewhere in there.
Okay.
Let's go back. Boots. I looked at the odds. Halliburton is plus 2,500 to win. When was this? Recently? Was that recently? Boots 25,000. Was that recently? Yeah, but yes, he's gonna be back, but is he gonna be in condition to contribute? That's my question. He can't work out because
he's gonna get back. He's gonna get back, and he has to get in playing in game shape.
Okay, February 9th. But he's not gonna be. It's like you can't jump off the couch and start running a 4x1 relay and expect him to keep up with everybody else.
No, but you can kind of build up to it.
It's going to be interesting to see. He'll be back. Obviously, he's going to be a great addition. I'm not saying that no means saying you don't want Joel Embiid on to play on your team. Obviously, he's going to be a good addition. I just concerned with his health at that point. How healthy will he be? How in shape will he be? He's going to need 3 weeks to a month to get in shape, in basketball shape, that is. He's not going to be able to work out. Is he going to have the same touch? Is he going to be on the same pace that he was when he got hurt? I don't know.
Well, no, Cam.
Interesting.
You do know he's not going to be on the same pace. The question is how long it's going to take him to get back up to speed.
Yeah, so
it's not going to be averaging 35 points a game once he steps
back.
Again,
so he'll be an addition, but I'm not relying on him to be Joel Embiid.
Oh, well, if you're not relying on him to be Joel Embiid, then we might as well fast forward to the 25 season. What are we going to do then?
I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just saying, to his point, he Boots puts out there the Sixers aren't cooked without Embiid.
They absolutely are cooked without Embiid.
I'm saying
what you're saying is you're not sure if he's ever going to be the Embiid that we're used to seeing.
No, this season, is he going to be back? Is he going to be?
They're not until he comes back.
I mean, come on. This is I hate. This is why I hate the injury for Embiid, because now he's just labeled as injury prone big dude.
Yeah, he's not labeled. That's what he is. He's never been healthy in the playoffs. You've never seen it. We said that earlier.
So you know what? Come to think about it, what you're saying, Cleveland, is he takes a couple months off. He takes that 3 to 4 weeks to get his shape prior to playoff time. This might be a good break for him.
This might be a good break for him.
Just like a
he doesn't
Anthony
have to
Davis
do
in
all
the
that
bubble.
wear and tear, and he gets back and he's been rehabbing, and man, he's
All
fresh.
Anthony Davis in the bubble. He got 3 months off, and then he can play through. He can play through the playoffs. This might be a great break for him, Cleveland.
I agree.
This is the first time for everything. You're right. So again, I'm trying to get an understanding if they he might be fresh for the first time. I mean, but he's still going to be working through some kinks. That's still a concern. So Kobe, LeBron, Vince, and T Mac, like, I wish I could get a year on that. A year on what that might
A
be.
year would be helpful with regards to when that might have taken place, but you have to give the nod to Vince. I always got to give the nod to Vince, man.
Yeah, but if when Vince won, and that was 2000, Vince was. I mean, he did some stuff nobody's seen before. But T Mac wasn't bad that year. T Mac wasn't bad. He was just outshined by Vince Carter. But T Mac was not bad.
Did T Mac
I know you don't remember.
participate in that
He was
dunk
in the
contest?
yes, he was in the dunk contest. Yes, he was in that same dunk contest that Vince was just
Even
incredible.
though he bounced the ball off the ground to Vince, he was in that same dunk contest?
No, he actually dunked. He wasn't bad. He just wasn't Vince Carter. And so again, by 2010, T Mac was playing for San Antonio, and seeing no time on the court. So I mean, this had to be 2007, maybe 2008, maybe. Because again, I really highly doubt, and I didn't being in LA, I heard nothing about Kobe Bryant considering participation in the dunk contest. So, but Vince said it happened. So I got to take Vince at his word. But I just couldn't get a date as to a year when that might happen. Because again, when Kobe, they went to the finals in 2008, they lost. No, they lost to Boston. Then they came back and beat Boston. And who they beat for the third one? Who they beat for the second?
Orlando in 10.
Okay. I highly doubt in those 3 years, 2007 or 2008, 2009, 2010. I highly doubt Kobe was warming up for the.
I think Kobe got his dunk contest title and never wanted to go back. I mean, he did.
That's what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. I'm just trying to think and nail down that when could that have possibly went down. I don't think it went down then. It couldn't have went down afterwards because Vince was toast. T Mac was toast. LeBron was the only one, stepping up. But then
this becomes 23, 24 years old. Yeah.
But those were coming into his championship years. So I don't know that he was going to participate in the dunk contest. You follow what I'm saying?
Sure. Not quite sure where this is going, but it just
I was just trying to bring it up. Again, I wanted to refute it. I didn't believe it, but then I heard Vince Carter say, yeah, it happened. He just didn't say the year it happened. And now I'm trying to think, okay, what year could that have been? Because if he won it in 2000, Kobe, as we know, won it 90. He came in 96, so he probably 97, 98, maybe one of those years. And then LeBron didn't come in until 2003. So it had to be 2003 to 2010. But if we take 2010, 2009, 2008 away, because those are Kobe Bryant's championship years, now we're looking at that 4-year window, right? And it very well could have been in those 4-year windows when Kobe was just going ham, on the league, just showing everybody that he was the best player out there, even though the Lakers stunk.
Yeah, you could take it back to 7 or 6. I mean, I can't see why you couldn't or why you wouldn't. That would have been Bron's second or third year.
Yeah. T Mac was nice. Again, yeah, that's what I mentioned. T Mac was nice, but he just wasn't Vince. T Mac had some skills. He was creative, and he had the proper size. He was the 6'7".
Fans, just so you know, T Mac was actually a better basketball player. He's talking about the dunker, Vince Carter, not the basketball player. Tracy McGrady was most definitely the better basketball player between those two. Just to clarify. That's not even debatable for hoopers that understand basketball.
So okay. You now, Cleveland, you would border on that conversation you don't like to have, or you were about longevity, or how longer was T Mac a better? It was through the length of the career, or was it for a year? His time in
It was
Orlando.
like a 7-year span. He was better than Vince Carter.
I don't know if it was that long. I don't know if I don't know if it was that long, but that's another argument for another day. I don't really think it was that long. You're right. There were some years he had some better years, certainly, but how long was he better is the question. And then do you credit the longevity of Vince Carter and the longevity of Vince Carter's ability to actually play different roles?
I mean, 20 years at 12 points a game, not really.
But again, now we're looking at that wasn't the length of his career.
Insanity in like 01.
So he had a 3-year span of Vince Nasty, half man, half amazing. That was a 3-year run.
And it all started when he decided he wanted to go to get his degree.
I was going to bring that up. Cleveland. I was going to bring Cleveland. Ooh, man. Ooh, Cleveland. I was like, how could you?
How could you? Why would you?
How could you? In the playoffs.
In Game 7.
In the playoffs.
Before Game 7.
You
of the Eastern Conference Finals.
You decide. If you told them you're from North Carolina, you could have paid them to have the graduation next week. A week later. You was at your zenith. You could have made a phone call. Yo, MJ, help me out. Let's push this back 1 week. You don't think the school would have did that for Vince Carter? And you decide to go get a diploma, which they could mail to your house, instead of going match up against Allen Iverson in Game 7 of the play. What? Woo! You know I didn't like that. You know I didn't like that. If I'm complaining about players not competing in the All-Star game, you know, oh my goodness, I would have looked at, Vince, it's gonna be tough for you to come back in this locker room, bro.
You're
gonna have to explain
it was hard, right? I mean, they say this, they support him, but I mean, come on, man. They don't mean it.
Uh, 2004. I can't go 2004 because that was in champion. You wouldn't go past 2004. I got you, but those were Kobe's championship years.
No, Kobe is Kobe plays for the finals. 2002. Kobe plays for the chip in 04.
Again, championship years. That's why I can't.
But that's like his 8th year in the league, and that's like LeBron's 2nd year.
I can't. I don't know if I can go 2004.
Hey, man.
2004.
Get on Twitter and ask that dude. What year you're talking. That's what you were talking about.
Orlando. Yeah, Orlando. That's what I'm saying. I mentioned that SB in Orlando. That's all. That could have been. Has to be what Cleveland is talking about. Yeah, it was the same day, bro. It was the same day.
It was hours before the game, Boots. It wasn't like even like I didn't even think it was like an 8-hour difference. It was like a close, like I gotta do this and then rush off to the airport and fly to Toronto. No.
It was
the timeline was like way condensed.
He had to choose either or.
It was a stressful time.
He had to choose either or, and he chose to go get a diploma that could have been mailed to him. If anything,
and he played horribly, was never in the game, was never mentally in the game. You could just tell. Why would you try and have two different things going on like that?
I mean, I'm not gonna fault the guy for getting an education, Vince, but call the school and tell them I'm busy today. Who out that graduation had any more going on than Vincent Carter? I want to say Lamont. I'm not sure what that was his middle name. But who at the is okay, I'll make a donation to the school. I mean, come on, Vince. I was disappointed, but I wasn't a huge Vince Carter fan anyway, so I wasn't. It blew my mind. It blew my mind that he would choose that over this. And again, as a teammate, it would have been tough, bro, to come back in that locker room. It would have been tough, man. It would have been tough. Yeah, yeah, it would have been a super
Really,
tough.
I mean, bro, a car crash, you know, any number of things, any kind of delays to that schedule. It was just he was cutting it way too tight. Not even to bring in the emotional factor of what he's going on from one half to the next. I mean, that's not an easy thing to switch gears, and certainly not Game 7. And the opponent didn't have any of that going on. They were just playing.
So fans, we bring back the pick segment. Bring back the pick segment for the NBA. So how this is going to go? Cleveland try to cheat me. He tried to throw me some crap last night. So how this is going to go? I'm going to pick 3 games. Should it be 3 or 5, Cleveland? Because we're going to have 6 days. So from Thursday to Monday, Thursday to Tuesday. You want to do Thursday to Tuesday? That's 6 days on this NBA schedule. Some of the better games, and we'll pick 6 games just to choose from. 3 or 5 games. What do you say? I picked 3 this week. What do you say, 3 or 5? And then we'll just pick the games how we pick our NFL games, and give us a point for each game. No spread here. No spread in the NBA.
Well, Cam, unlike football, this is very difficult to pick over a 6-game,
6-day span.
6-day span, because you don't know who's going to be hurt and who's not.
Fair enough. So let's keep it 3 games. Let's just keep it 3 games.
Okay.
And I think I went to Monday. I think actually, the Sixers and Celtics play on Monday if I'm correct. So I agree with you. It's a shorter span.
Yeah, I see you picking for me, because I'm pretty sure I picked Milwaukee.
No, this is exactly what you sent me.
No, I didn't. I said Milwaukee.
Hold on. Let me double check.
And I didn't actually send you the Suns Mavericks game.
No, you sent me some crap games, Cleveland. I wanted to have some competition, and you send me Denver versus Washington, OKC versus Washington, and Milwaukee over Charlotte. I mean, come on.
So let's try this again.
Suns?
Pick 3 games to call you locks of the week. So I picked 3 games that were going to be locks. None of them were Phoenix at Dallas.
No, because they were crap. I mean, they were absolute washouts. Not one of these games were competitive. Were a tough game to pick. Again, fans, this is what Cleveland does. He picked the Suns over the Mavericks, or excuse me, he picked the game.
You know what? Fine, go with that.
Denver over Washington, OKC over Washington, and Milwaukee over Charlotte.
Not because now I'm starting to remember. You're right. I am expecting Doc Rivers to fall on his face in the middle of the street again, with no explanation, but just talking real loud. So I did pick Minnesota there. KD, you don't like the way you're talking about him. I'm good with that. I'm good with that run right there.
So we'll see. Again, we got 2 of the same games, but one will be the differentiator. And we'll just see next week. We'll get the pick segment going for the NBA. That's how we'll do the NBA moving forward, fans. So those of you who like the pick segment, tune into the pick segment. You can see me watch Cleveland again each week. Okay, there we go. Cleveland, let's jump into some NFL topics, man. Again, this is tag season for the NFL players. Do you believe the Chiefs tag Chris Jones, or will they sign him outright? What do you think?
Tagging him.
Tag him again, 2nd year in a row? They know what he's worth. They're gonna tag him again. That'd be so disrespectful.
They know what he's worth, and he knows where he at.
That'd be so disrespectful. Mike Evans. If the Bucks tag Mike Evans, that will cost them $28 million.
$28 million? Is that what you said?
Yeah. Will they tag Mike
I will
Evans?
not.
It will cost them. If they tag him, they can re-sign him, obviously. But if they tag him, it's going to cost them $28 million. If they put the franchise tag on him, they're going to get the fee at $28 million. Should they tag him? Will they tag him? Will Mike Evans be playing in Kansas City next year?
They'll either release him or they're not going to pay him $28 million next year.
I doubt they'll release him. They might sign and trade him. I doubt they just out and out release him. That'd be interesting if they just out and out release him. Like,
well, I mean, I don't know what the alternatives are. They were
he's
kind of
10,000 yards. He in 10 years he got 11,000 yards receiving. Like,
yes, that's in 10 years, Cam. Yeah.
You're saying he's done?
Players, the Asian dog years.
You're saying Mike Evans is done? Is that what you're saying?
I am saying that $28 million. I'm not giving him $28 million. I might give him 20 over 5 seasons, over 3 seasons, with a $15 million signing.
You're giving Michael Evans. You're giving him $6 million a year. That's what you want. That's what you're trying to do.
Right. I said $20 million over 3 years. Like as in $20 million per. As in, I'm sorry.
Oh, $20 million.
3 years, $60 million.
Okay.
With 20 guarantees, something like that.
Right. That's a little bit better.
Yeah.
I mean, well, you're a signing bonus, an $8 million signing bonus away from getting it done.
No, man.
So, what do you think he'll be playing with the Bucks next year or not?
No, not really.
Cleveland. What's the last team that gave up on a running back?
The Carolina Panthers gave up on Christian McCaffrey.
Did they give up on him? Or they were just like, we need to redo?
Sure did. If they thought that he was their bell cow running back that could stay healthy, they would have kept him.
Okay. The guy that comes in my mind is Le'Veon Bell. The Sixers kind of gave up on Le'Veon Bell.
Who?
Le'Veon Bell. Not the Sixers. Excuse me. The Philadelphia. Pittsburgh Steelers. Excuse me.
Okay. Gave
up on Le'Veon Bell. That's the guy that come on my mind. You could sell me on the Bills and Marshawn Lynch. Go back a few more years later.
You could sell you on that.
I mean, but there was some.
You see how horribly that turned out for them? What are you talking about?
No. But there were some issues where Marshawn wasn't the what do they call it? The stand-up citizen in Buffalo. So, that there were some reasons.
He wasn't the model citizen, but they clearly gave up on him, and that was a mistake.
Well, again, they didn't get rid of him because of his talent. There was off the field issues. So if you could say they gave up on him, I mean, that was, again, you could sell me on that one. But I could understand kind of what they were thinking when they said, okay, yeah, we've had enough. But yeah, he turned. I mean, Pete in his welcoming personality brought him on in and let him excel. I mean, they needed the guy obviously with Russell to carry that load for him. So it was a great fit for Seattle. But I think you make a good one, Christian McCaffrey. But the one that initially comes to my mind is the Steelers and Le'Veon Bell. Dalvin Cook and the Vikings. Yes, I agree with that because I didn't expect that. But Dalvin Cook wasn't. He didn't produce with the Jets, so it's not like Dalvin Cook came in and ran for 1,000 yards with the Jets. So I do understand.
I think the other one you would have to talk about is the other Pittsburgh running back when they, turned a blind eye to James Conner. He's been okay since he left.
He's been better than okay.
Wow.
Definitely been your
3 years of at least 12 touchdowns. Yeah, I mean,
he's better. He's been better than okay, and I'm kind of surprised by that because I wouldn't say I didn't think much. Yeah, I'll go ahead and say it. I didn't think much of him when he played for the Steelers, and then he went to Arizona and been balling.
I'm doing the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I give him some credit. And what brings that question up is it looks like the Giants are going to give up on Saquon Barkley. Is Saquon some talks that Harbaugh is in Saquon's ear? What would be the best fit for Saquon Barkley?
Which Harbaugh?
Jim Harbaugh in Southern California. But I mean, he could go to Baltimore too. I mean, he'd be one of the guys with John Harbaugh. But
no, he wouldn't just be one of the guys. He'd be the guy.
He'd be the guy.
The guy.
I mean, that kind of be a good fit because Saquon got some injury issues as well. And
well, if he went out there to LA, that's a game changer. Game changer.
That again, that's what Harbaugh was. I heard Harbaugh been on the phone with him.
Oh man.
Swift in Detroit. I never understood that. I did not understand why Detroit just revamped their running back.
But look how much better they got though. With Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs as opposed to Swift. Oof.
I mean, they had Swift and somebody else, so they had Swift and another dude. I mean, they got rid of them both.
They had Swift and Jamal Williams, but no,
they got rid of them both. Like,
yeah, but you flip that to Jahmyr and Montgomery, way better.
I mean, no,
way better.
Gibbs has been incredible. I didn't expect that much from Gibbs this season. Montgomery and Swift they're kind of the same player, but it looked like Swift is Philly is about to give up on Swift. I don't know what the deal is with Swift. He looked like he ran hard to me. He looked like he produced for me when they gave him the ball. The Phillies' problem, they didn't give him the ball in the second half of the season. You can't blame that on him. That's not his problem. He didn't get the ball. That was the coaching. But yeah, I mean, I didn't understand that. But yeah, if they flipped that to Cleveland's point, they, Gibbs has obviously been impressive. Montgomery, you getting some production, so you're not disappointed in what you're getting. But I thought Swift can still give you that same production that Montgomery gave. And I was just surprised that you just flipped clean house and brought in 2 new backs, but it paid off for him. Yeah. So best fit, you think Saquon and Herbert? Then you'd give Herbert some love.
Oh, plus rumor has it that they're going to take Rome with their first pick. If they get Rome and Saquon,
like 15, what are they? No, they're 5.
Yeah,
the Chargers are 5. That might be early for him.
I thought so initially, but that's not what. That
might be early for
not
him.
what they're saying.
They need a
receiver in the first round last year, right?
Yeah, who fell on his face.
This one's not going to fail on him.
I mean, that might be why they're looking that direction, but I don't know about that. I don't know if I'm taking a wide receiver in the first round, not for the Chargers. Like, they need a guard. They need a linebacker. They need a linebacker.
Saquon Barkley and Rome Odunze. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I gotta reach out to Eckler. I gotta reach out to see what the deal is. Austin is. I gotta reach out and see. If you pair Austin with Barkley, they kind of do the same thing. Like, if they got Barkley, I guess you kind of have to get rid of Eckler. I guess I would.
They kind of do the same thing. How? I mean, Saquon Barkley runs past people.
Austin Eckler does too when he's healthy, but they both are dual threat running backs. Barkley's obviously bigger, so but you can't shit on.
Well, then, shoot Eckler to the Texans and run like that.
Ooh. Saquon to the Texans. What do you think about that?
Saquon to the Texans?
Yeah.
Oh boy, yeah.
Ooh. But Singletary runs hard though. Singletary was running like he wanted to keep his job. Like we say, Tyler Hero was playing in Miami. Like he didn't want to get ran out of Miami. That's how Singletary was running the ball in Houston last year.
That was
he was
cool.
running like he don't want to get out. He saw something and he want to stick around.
Almost enough, not quite though. Almost enough.
Ooh, you said not enough, huh? Not enough.
Almost enough.
Will T. Higgins stay with the Bengals?
No.
At a $20 million tag?
No.
No. If I'm the Bengals, bro. If I'm Joe Burrow, I'm going to yo, coach. Yo, coach. Let me open up my wallet to see what I got.
Yeah, Cam, this is an organization that doesn't feed their team lunch. I mean, you know.
Things have changed with Joe. Things have changed with Joe around there. Yeah, they gotta pay Chase. Yes, they gotta pay Chase. That's without a doubt. You don't even question that. Okay, Chase. What's it gonna take? And what's it gonna take, Chase? It's gonna take 25 a year.
So I believe what SB 23 is saying is you have to be proactive and you can't have two $20+ million receivers on the roster at the same time. So
why not? Why not?
Because they're the cheapest organization in the NFL.
But they got the best. They got arguably one of the best.
Yeah, man. What part of the cheapest organization in the NFL didn't you understand?
They're getting. They won't go broke. They're not going to go broke. They're profit sharing in the NFL.
They don't feed their players.
That was pre 2010. That was pre Joe Burrow. Pre Joe Burrow. You're in a different world. You're in a different stratosphere when you have Joe Cool behind center.
Hey Cam, they're not going to pay two receivers $20+ million. That's not a thing. In Cincinnati.
So my man, why am I having a brain fart on a running back? He's 28. Joe Mixon. Joe, sorry, Joe. Sorry, Joe. They may go get Austin Eckler.
No.
Well, it's different though. The Chargers receivers were old and injury prone. Period. Old. Keenan Allen is great, but he's injury prone now at this stage of the career.
They're
Mike
not
Williams is injury prone. Period.
Receivers $20 million, 20+. And actually, Jamar Chase is already. Let's be honest, he's $30 million.
30. Come on, Jamar. We need Jamar. We can't pay you $30 million, Jamar.
Yeah,
we can't pay you 30. We can't pay you 30, Jamar.
$30 million.
I mean, Jamar, if we pay you 30, Jamar, we're gonna have a rookie on the other side of you. That means you're double teamed all game long. All season long, you're gonna be double teamed.
Not necessarily a rookie. You don't know who's out there.
We have T. Higgins though.
All you know is that T. Higgins is not going to be on the other side. And
Jamar,
again,
listen, if we have T. Higgins
jumping in people's pocketbooks, trying to plan out their life for them.
I'm just trying to say,
they can plan out their own lives for themselves. Starts at $30 million.
Yo, Jamar, come in and talk to us, buddy. Come in and sit down.
Yeah. And here in Cincinnati, Ohio, yeah. No, I see how you guys do things. Yeah, man. Don't talk me to death about nothing.
Ooh, 30 off the top, huh?
30 off the top.
Oof.
I don't really like it here anyway. I mean, I like playing with JB. We've been friends forever.
I really don't like it here anyway.
How are we now you gotta go somewhere else other than Cincinnati, Ohio?
Oof. Oh my goodness. I have to have that conversation. I just can't write the blank check. I have to I have to explain economics to the kid and say, if we give you 30.
See, that's where you be going wrong. He already understands the economics. That's why he set the number at 30.
Well, he don't understand the economics. If he set the number at 30, it's like now it's you and Joe and you're double teamed all season long.
See,
don't you want?
See, you're getting into the nature of things. You're getting into what could be, and this is such a great combination. You talk about the economics of it. No, 30.
Boyd ain't Higgins. Boyd is. I like Boyd. Boyd's a great 3. He ain't rolling the coverage that way. He's not rolling that coverage because you not questioning should we double team Boyd or Chase. That's not a question.
Well, yeah,
He
Cincinnati's
didn't-
got some tough decisions to make because they could potentially lose all three of their receivers and just have JB. That would be tough.
They're not gonna leave him off. They're not gonna lose all three. I need Chase to be a team player. Chase.
Why? He's a team player.
Chase, come be a team player, bro.
He's a
It
team
ain't all
player.
about you.
It's not all about him. It's about what the market. It's about what the market will bear and dictates for
it don't
receivers.
Come on, Chase.
AJ Brown makes $25 million. DK Metcalf makes $25 million. What are we talking about here?
DK making 25?
Yeah. Oh, reality's starting to set in for you. when I said that name and that number, like, oh, now I see why it starts at 30.
Man, Chase, let's talk about this, man. We might have to prorate some money.
There's no backroom deals, and we'll catch you.
We might have to prorate some.
Take on the other side of the contract.
Take 20 for the first 2 years, and then we'll give you 30, then 35.
Nope.
How about that?
Nope.
I mean, come
Escalating
on.
contracts in the NFL. No. The NFL contracts are top heavy.
Let's work with us now.
In the new era, top heavy. Top heavy.
Ooh, that's early. That hurts. That's gonna hurt them. Ooh. Should the Vikings re-sign Kirk Cousins or consider giving him to a guaranteed deal?
They should re-sign him.
They should re-sign him.
Mm-hmm.
Curtis finagled the league, bro, for so long, his whole career. Where's the best fit?
Finagling the league. You see how they fell apart without him, and they have not found an adequate replacement in any way.
But I mean, come on, they had rookies and garbage playing behind.
Okay, well, go get who?
Russell's out there.
Russell's currently under contract with the Broncos, from what I hear.
No, the Broncos. The Broncos are going to have to pay him wherever he goes. The Broncos are going to have to pay him the $39 million.
Okay.
If the Vikings want to pay him, if the Vikings say sign him, just as an example, sign a 2-year, $6 million contract, then the Broncos are still on the hook for $33 million. So Russell can go wherever he wants on a team friendly deal.
Okay, well, Russell's under contract, so he can't go wherever he wants. He's not a free agent.
He can go wherever he wants. He can go. He didn't play the last games of the season, so he's essentially free agent. It's known that he's not going back to the Broncos. That's understood.
Well, we'll see.
But the Broncos owe him money.
Yeah, we don't know. Russell's quite the wild card.
Yeah, real world kicks in. That's for sure. But yeah, we got to have a conversation at least. You guys are talking about like it's a done deal starting Chase at 30. We got to have a conversation. Yo, look, we need escalators or something, man. What are you trying to do? You just want to get paid? Is that it? Or do you want to win? You want to get back to the Super Bowl? If you want to get back to the Super Bowl, we need T. Higgins. I mean, we can let
Mr. Brown. You always want the players to sacrifice. That's weird because you don't ever sacrifice.
But there's a cap on the NFL. So if you're taking up 20, if you got Joe Burrow taking up 27%,
and that's you pay me what I'm worth, and you want to turn around and point the finger at me like I'm the problem. Blame me.
No. There's a cap. And if you're taking 25% of the cap after Joe Burrow got 27%,
I'm one of the top 5 receivers in this league. I want to be paid like one of the top 5.
I love your production. That's why we drafted you.
You want me to get paid like one of the top 10 receivers because it's better for you.
Yes, because it's better for our quarterback. It's better for our team.
Moving right along. We'll see how good JB is without Jamar in the pros. Haven't seen that yet.
Ooh, you're done with your boy.
No, I'm just saying that's the number. You're
done.
Trying to move the number back or down or whatever you're trying to do. No. No. That's what the number is. Exactly.
So much for your locker for your college teammate, huh? So much for that guy, huh? That
Oh wow!
friendship.
Now he's trying to get into camaraderie and loyalty, and man,
I mean, come on, I thought you guys were trying to do something together here.
they are something special.
I mean, not no more. Not if you won 30, Chase.
Wow, I don't remember JB taking a big pay cut. I think he's at $250 million, right?
Yeah, I think that was a little team friendly ish. I mean, he could have been. He could have been
Okay,
doing
well,
better.
I think the team
He could have
friendly
got 30.
part. The
He could have
team
got
friendly
30.
part was to give enough cushion to sign Jamar.
That was. It was. But now, Jamar, we need you because we need T on the other side. Yeah, I'm not sure what you think life is going to be like without T over there.
Man, okay.
I mean, I don't know.
Show enough over there playing fantasy football. No, this is real.
this ain't college where you guys just can throw out run any play and it works. You know, we need to have some scheme on it. We need to have some scheme going on here, and that means having T on that other side over there. What's the best fit for Russell? Russell, the Steelers, Falcons.
Vegas is the best fit for him if he goes there.
Vegas?
Yeah.
I mean, did you call Sierra? Sierra might want to go back home to Atlanta.
I did. She's right now. I mean, you know, she's okay with going back to the ATL, but she's the West Coast gal now. She would prefer to be in Vegas.
Not Pittsburgh, not Minnesota.
No.
She dealt with enough of the cold, huh?
She dealt with the 206 constant precipitation. Yeah. She'd prefer to be in a better climate. Yeah. Minnesota or Pittsburgh, no, would not work for her.
Interesting. Tell JB to take a haircut and restructure, huh? Ooh, wow. SB put it all out on the table. Put it all on the table. I mean,
put it back on JB, and you already said JB already did that, huh? He said get that Kelsey fade. He said fade it up even
more. Get that Kelsey, huh? Yeah, that's a cold one. That's a cold one. So Cleveland. Well, I got this trade option that I heard. Who says no to this deal, Cleveland? Who says no to this deal, fellas? Miami Dolphins wide receiver Jalen Waddle for Kansas City Chiefs cornerback McDuffie.
Chiefs say no.
Chiefs don't pay their cornerbacks. Chiefs do not pay their cornerbacks.
No, they paid Peters.
No, they didn't pay Peters. Peters went to the Raiders.
And they paid a few safeties.
The cornerbacks. Chiefs do not pay their cornerbacks. That's why they're playing with McDuffie and Snead.
But McDuffie's not ready to get the payday.
McDuffie, this is his second year. This was his second year. He's going in the third year.
Okay.
Right now. So he's going to be
contract ain't over.
He's going to be well. You're going to have to pay him if not this year, the next year. If you can get Jalen, Chiefs, you don't want Jalen Waddle.
Chiefs.
I don't know. This was a script. This was a head.
They can do it without a number one receiver.
What now? I'm sorry.
So the Chiefs have proven that they can do it without a number one receiver. Jalen Waddle's not a number one.
I mean, if he went to the Chiefs, he would be.
If he went to Carolina, he would be too. But that's not what we're talking about. He's not a number one receiver.
Oh, listen to you. Yeah, I take McDuffie. I take McDuffie.
Yeah,
certainly would.
You saw the way McDuffie was covering in the Super Bowl.
I take McDuffie because what you call it? No, and the reason this is even a topic is because Xavier Howard is not going to be back with the Dolphins.
Oh,
he's priced. You
guys finally messed around and lost Xavier Howard. I mean, after all these years,
he's been injured in the past 2 seasons, and he's at 28. He's making 28.
That's too bad.
So we need to replace. We need a young stud back there.
Already done with him, huh?
We need
showing him score.
I mean, life comes at you fast.
You walk him down the Griselda Blanco Boulevard, man. Down a little thing.
Life comes at you fast. So that's all I'm saying. Life comes at you fast. So Cleveland, did Teddy Bruschi changed your mind on Mahomes. You heard what Bruschi said. You like what Bruschi. You like Teddy Bruschi. Did he change your mind on what Mahomes? On Patrick Mahomes?
No.
I mean, I'm not even gonna go deliberate this whole situation again. I just want to ask you, since Teddy Bruschi validated everything I was trying to say, I know you seen the video because I texted to you. You didn't. You oddly enough didn't respond, like you didn't see it, like it did. Oh, you said you're not getting your messages. You're not getting your attachments. Is that the BS you told me?
No, that was earlier. I had to get my phone fixed, and yeah, man, it's too early. I'm not into that 4 and 5 or 3 and 4, and that's just like defines an entire career. That's just not.
I never said it defines an entire career.
No, you said he's the greatest quarterback in the history of football.
Already, I don't need to see no more.
Right.
I didn't say his career is over.
I just said I need to
take
see
another
more.
step from that.
And I just said I need to see more. That's all I said.
Okay, if that's what you believe, I believe you hate still. I believe you hate, man. You're not saying things clearly. That's where I'm going with that on that. Because there's no way that you can. Well, there is a way, obviously, but that shouldn't be the way that you see things. Patrick Mahomes is already. Fans, I want to give yourself a round of applause for tuning into the Voice of the Fans podcast. We appreciate you guys. Sorry if I was on air smacking, and I know the sound wasn't glorious, but Cleveland had a debt to pay, and boy, that full moon was good, man. It was nice and tangy. The white sauce with the chow chow. If you guys get some of that chow chow, we got another segment, Boots. The white sauce with the chow chow, man, that's something else, man. It's a Alabama staple. Is that white sauce? But fans, what we do each and every week, man, we give you a different segments of the show. We start off with our numbers game. We give you a quote inspirational quote at the end of the show, and then what we do is give you this week in history. So here are some topics, Cleveland, or some things that kind of happened this week in history. Just educate you, Cleveland. Let me know if you've heard of any of these storylines. There's a couple storylines you've heard of before, I'm sure. But let's see where we go. February 21, 1961, Otis Boykins, inventor, patented electric resistor, the device used in all guided missiles and IBM computers. The electric resistor, Otis Boykins. That was 1961. Oftentimes, inventions get named after the inventor, right? Oddly enough, we haven't heard of the Boykins resistor for some reason. February 21, a few years later, 1965, Malik El-Shabazz assassinated at Audubon Ballroom in Harlem, New York. You know that is correct.
That is Malcolm X.
February 20th, 1971, Idi Amin Dada became president and ruler of Uganda. February 22nd, 1989, Cleveland, who was nominated for the first Grammy Award in the category Best Rap Song?
Who won the award or who was nominated?
Well, yeah, who won the award? Yeah,
Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince.
What was the song?
It was Parents Just Don't Understand.
Yeah, that was a banger. That was a banger back then. Cleveland, February 1992. I didn't realize this, actually. The first African-American director to be nominated for an Academy Award was?
92 would have been Spike Lee.
1992, John Singleton. Was the first African-American to be nominated for Academy Award for Boys in the Hood. Cleveland, February 19th, 2002, Vanetta Flowers became the first African American woman to win a gold medal in any woman Olympic sports. That's Singleton, right? Singleton, right, Boots? February 17, 1997, Virginia House of Delegates vote to unanimously retire the slave song. Oh, did that one last night. We'll get rid of that one. February 20th, 2011, 60th All-Star game played at Staples Center. So it had to be a good game or entertaining game because it was in Los Angeles in 2011, according to Cleveland in his geographical reference earlier. West beats East 148 to 143. Do you recall who the MVP was in that game? It was in Staples Center.
Kobe Bean Bryant.
So that one goes down in history because it was in LA, right?
Well, I mean, it was much more of a thing than in Indianapolis, Indiana.
It sure was a lot going on.
I'm sure there was a whole bunch more people.
It was cracking. It was cracking that week. It was cracking. I'm sure of that. Well, I know. I
know you're not sure. I know you know that.
I could speak to that
specifically. That from experience. Yeah,
that one was cracking.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I had such a good time at these NBA events. I actually bought some gear. And I usually don't fund those events, but I actually walked away with some gear. Nonetheless, a story for a different day. February 21, 1993, Cleveland. 43rd All-Star game. West beats the East, Cleveland, 135 to 132. Co-MVPs in that game. According to Cleveland, it was in Salt Lake City, so this was a booty game, but it went into overtime.
Well, then it was soccer them alone. Thanks for playing.
But that had to be a piss poor game because it was in Utah, according to your geographic reference.
It was.
Get out of here, man. Cut it out. But the game went in overtime, so it wasn't that bad.
Great.
It couldn't have been bad.
That was cool. That was fun.
See?
Mm-hmm. Can't even drink in Salt Lake City.
All right, Cleveland. So Washington State and Oregon State has been allowed to participate in the 12-team college football playoff. What do they call it? The playoff set this year.
Okay.
Do you agree with that?
Sure. If they feel sorry for them, man, they got kind of a raw deal, man.
No, in all seriousness, the 12-team college football plan was set. 5 highest ranked teams, 5 highest ranked conference championships will be going. Next is the 7 highest ranked teams. 4th highest ranked conference champions receive a first round bye. So 4 teams receive the bye. The cool thing about this format is Notre Dame can't be higher than 7th because they won't be a conference champ. So
it's the price you pay for being independent everywhere you go.
I mean, I don't know how much more it could be expanded.
No, they're already talking about it. I mean, we'll have to see how these 2 years go, but hopefully the 12s
32 teams that we're going to come down to.
That's a bit heavy, but
yeah. Well, I mean, what's the next step? What are you going to do? You're at 12. You going to go 16?
He just said 14. We'll see how the 12 looks.
Nah, I mean, I think 8 probably would have been enough, actually, for a playoff. But we'll see. Right. I mean, pretty soon the playoffs is going to start. I mean, it's going to be good because all of December is going to be playoffs. So that for that purpose is, and all of December is going to be playoff games. If
I
they're
hope
going
the
to,
12. I hope the 12 works out. I mean, that's probably plenty. You know,
yeah, that's
to
three.
appease
That's three
everybody.
solid
I
weeks.
mean, you'll have what 7, 8 SEC teams, and then 4 other teams. You know,
7, 8, 6. Cleveland. Now I got an Xbox that hasn't my Xbox Plus. I don't even know it's 3 years old now. It's still in the box downstairs. PlayStation is out. I haven't plugged the PlayStation up in at least 3 years. But EA Sports NCAA football is coming out in May 2025. I might have to get back on the sticks when this game comes out. Did you ever play college football? Or you didn't play. You didn't play video games like that. Okay, say no more. Thoughts on Rick Pitino slamming his players? Did you hear Rick Pitino, man, just trash the whole squad? I mean, I'm surprised he didn't have people quit after that. They can't play. This isn't a defensive team. They can't move laterally. They can't shoot. They can't play D. I've been trying to get these guys to make a bounce pass for 2 seasons. Like, come on, Rick. Like, what's really going on here, dog?
no, I've just been so disappointed that Rick gets a chance to have another program. I mean, after all of the things that he's done, and the way he leaves these programs, aflame when he leaves them, it's
Right.
It's embarrassing, really, that they continue to give him chances and opportunities to, rekindle, past greatness. And
Try to reach the pass.
I just don't take him seriously, to be perfectly honest with you.
Okay. Is Messi enough to get you to watch the MLS? Like when Messi came up there to play the Sounders?
I don't think he ever made it up here.
Really?
No, for real.
He did.
That would have been like a huge thing. He never made it.
He's been everywhere else in the MLS. Okay, he's playing this weekend. Is that enough to get you to the MLS? Like the LA, is it on Saturday? LAFC Seattle goes to LA to play the LAFC. Are you following the Sounders at all?
I follow the Sounders, especially when they get to the cup and win the cup and stuff. But I haven't followed them in a couple of years.
They play games before they get to the cup.
I know it.
You got to see how they do it. You can't just go to the championship game.
I go to some games here or there.
Come on,
but not a lot. I'm not gonna lie to you and say I'm a devout Sounders fan.
Hey, check it out. No lie. All jokes aside, LAFC from 2017. I left LA in 22. From 17 to 21. That was the best ticket in the city. That was better than like the game. Well.
Yeah. Look at you already put your foot way in your mouth. Better than
visually, the Laker. There's no better place to be than a 100 level at a Laker game during halftime and timeouts. Visually, there's no better place.
So fans, what he's trying to say is that the soccer games are kind of cool. You should go sometime. I think that's kind of what he's trying to say. But he started out with, it was a better game than watching the 17 NBA champions.
For sports fans,
this isn't true, fans.
The experience was much better. The experience was a much better.
They cheer and stuff, they chant, and it's cool. They jump up and down like in unison and stuff.
You don't know nothing.
It's hella cool.
You don't know nothing about it.
The field is beautiful.
You don't know nothing about it. You don't know
passionate fans.
You don't know. You haven't been to an MLS game. Just say that. Just say I've not been to an MLS game.
I've been to an MLS game.
Just say that. Just say that.
The Sounders that won the MLS Cup that year.
I think they beat the LAFC. I think they beat LAFC that year.
Okay. Well,
but the MLS games are off the hook. And
sure.
I don't know if you've been.
They're not like Laker games though, so real. They might be like Clipper games. I'm sure they're much better than Clipper games, but they're not like Laker games. And they're certainly not like Dodger games. So
most definitely they're way better than Dodger games. Way better than Dodger.
Sorry, perhaps
you
Shohei Ohtani's in town.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's a different
Okay.
Dodgers games is going to be a different. It's going to be a different vibe this year with Shohei and Tosh.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, come on, you're sitting on
Well, I hear what you're saying. Soccer games are fun.
You're sitting on your hands for 7 to 9 innings.
Oh my gosh, soccer games are fun. The suspense. Sometimes it's 0-0. Sometimes it's 1-0. It's great.
Again, the atmosphere.
Yeah,
I can tell you, no, I've been to all these games. You can't tell me I've been to umpteen NBA games in Los Angeles. I've been to umpteen football NFL games in Los Angeles. I've been to umpteen.
I know, but you only like the Chargers. They're not very good. So
I've been to multiple Rams games in Los Angeles. I'm telling you.
That's like an LAFC game.
The viewing experience for an LAFC game, man, was off the chain.
The viewing experience. So you had good seats. Okay, that's cool.
Well, I was in the box.
Okay, well, great. Great. I had good seats to the soccer game. Why don't you just say that instead of all the other stuff you were saying?
Because I'm explaining to you what the deal is, chump. So Messi doesn't get you out. How much hockey are you paying attention to? Can Alexander Ovechkin catch Wayne Gretzky in points? Just for history, Alexander Ovechkin has been playing for the Capitals, obviously. 2005 to today, 2024. 19 years. Next year will be 20. Gretzky played 20 years in the NHL. Gretzky scored 894 goals. Alexander Ovechkin is right at 838. So just 56 goals away. For context, Cleveland. For context, Alexander Ovechkin scored over 100 points in 3 consecutive seasons. He did it 4 years total, but he did it in 3. I think it's 3 of the past 4 seasons. The one season he didn't, he scored 92 goals. Or excuse me, he scored 92
points.
Not 92 goals, 92 points. Cleveland.
Wayne Gretzky did that 117 times.
Wayne Gretzky did that 11 consecutive seasons. Like 3 times as much as Dog did. But he's only
4 times as many seasons, yes.
But he's only he's less than 100 goals away. So if he were to play another season, a full season, and score 100 goals, he'll pass him. Do you think Ovechkin can pass him?
No, I don't. Not in goals. We'll see. I mean,
in points.
I don't even think in points. I don't know how many points he is away, but
he's 56. He's 56 points away.
56 points away.
Yeah. So if he played a full season and gave him his consistent production, he might be able to do it.
I mean, he's probably on pace to do so. I mean,
he's wearing down though. He's wearing down because this season I think they're 40 games into the season. He scored 8 goals. Excuse me. He scored 16 goals. He scored 16 goals. So it'll be close. He has to like really turn it on, and so to do it. But if he plays next season,
they'll leave him out there to break it. I mean, for sure. I mean, records are meant to be broken, but sometimes, like you say, you have to put the record in context with regards to the other players were, and I don't think he surpasses. Clearly, he doesn't surpass Wayne Gretzky in influence and impact on the game, but it's only got one Stanley Cup.
They made a team in LA so he can, because he said, "I want to go there." Okay, we'll put a team in LA for you, Wayne. You could play for the Kings for a couple of years, and then just gave them birth.
Like, Stanley Cup.
I mean, but that's crazy. Like they just said, he said, "I want to move to LA." They said the NHL says, "Okay, we'll have a team in LA for you to play." You know what? We ain't ready for you to walk away into the sun.
He didn't move to some expansion team. They traded for him. I mean, come on now.
I mean, they
already had a team.
They put in a team in LA for him. Come on, cut it out. Should Mike Trout ask for a trade? I mean, should the Angels do Mike Trout a solid and trade him, or you think Mike Trout is just hanging out there for the cool weather and the beaches?
Both of those. Yeah, I think that he's long since not really cared about winning. If it was, he probably would have asked for a trade a long time ago. I mean, they went through the Shohei, Rendon experiment. It didn't work.
You hear what Rendon said?
Yeah,
This
he
is
doesn't
my
take baseball serious. It's never been his priority.
dog. I mean,
Probably should have figured that out before you gave him the $200 million in guaranteed money. If he
yeah,
has other hobbies and interests that take precedence over playing baseball. I mean, yeah, that's not who you want in the clubhouse.
Is
Kinda
that
back and kind of walk that back, right?
But I mean, come on. Is that Rendon being disrespectful or him being honest? What do you think?
It's both. He's being honestly disrespectful.
Honestly disrespectful. I mean, come on, dog. I mean, just to say this is my job, and I'm gonna do my job, but nothing. I mean, come on, bro. Trout is he gonna stick around for it? What's going on with the Mariners? Anything of note?
Yeah, spring training, everyone, starts out with optimism, and we'll see where it goes. I'm not jumping on the optimism train right now.
You're not standing on? You're not optimistic right now, or I mean, there's nothing to be optimistic about. Talk to the fans. Tell us.
The thing to be optimistic about is they have awesome pitching, and they're going to have it all season long, and they have tremendous depth at the pitching position. It's all the rest of the players. Julio is going to show up and be a star. The catchers, Cal Raleigh is going to show up and be a star. The shortstop is going to show up and be a star. It's the other 7 positions on the field that we're not 100% sure about.
So, are you going to get some hitting this year?
Don't know.
Wow, what a way to go! What a way to start the season. There's no optimism, but you'll be there at T-Mobile eating those crickets, won't you?
Cam. Fortunately, I do have a little bit of a hookup to some
to the crickets.
Not to the crickets, but to watching the games from the suite level, like you were saying. So I will attend some games, but the optimism.
I mean, are your suite level seats? Are they looking out over Lake Union? I mean, that'd be a hell of a place to take a date to. Just looking out over Lake Union and not worried about what's going on in the field.
Right. No, suites actually face the field. They don't face Lake Union. So.
Oh, so you're in the outfield.
No, third baseline.
Okay. All right. Well, in that case, I don't know if that's such a great dating opportunity then, because you'll be forced to look at that trash that's on the field out there.
And right now, you can throw punches because that's what.
You calling for Bellinger again?
You know what I'm saying? Somebody needs to sign him. Something wrong with him. Boots. I mean, nobody's signed him at this point. That's weird.
Do you guys hear these baseball players complaining about these new uniforms?
Yeah.
What's the deal? Are they going to change the uniforms, or do you think they're going to make them ride with these uniforms?
They'll change them if everybody doesn't like them. Yeah. Go back to the manufacturer. Something's wrong with it.
So, will the Mariners make the playoffs? Let's get Cleveland on the right now in baseball season.
I have absolutely no idea. If I had to handicap it right now, I would say no.
Okay, so you're not excited for the season. You're not excited. I got you. There's a long history as to why you shouldn't be excited about what the Mariners.
I'm not excited about the Mariners right now because the owners are playing cheap.
And I mean, right now, when were you?
Nothing worse. There's nothing worse than a cheap owner of a professional franchise, a professional sports franchise, I should say. Yeah,
are they freezing Boris out? Are they freezing Boris out?
Runs the league, and it's probably why we weren't able to trade for the polar bear in New York. I was waiting for him to trade for Alonso, but then I found out, he's only got 1 year left on his contract, and Scott Boras is his agent, so no trading for him.
Are they freezing him out? They might be freezing Boris out. That's what it looked like.
No. Boris doesn't get froze out. He freezes you out.
Fans, okay. Thank you guys for tuning in to Voice of the Fans podcast. Thank you guys for sticking with me. Man, my mouth is still ringing from that barbecue. Full Moon Cleveland. Thank you. Shout out to Cleveland for the full moon tonight. Want to give a shout out to Brock Purdy. Give a shout out to Brock Purdy. Cleveland doesn't believe in, but Brock Purdy came through for me. Thanks, Bootzilla.
Appreciate it, bro.
Give yourself a round of applause. SB, give yourself a round of applause as well.
Good
fans, we do this each and every week. We want to thank you guys for tuning in to the Voice of the Fans podcast. Oh, look at you. Hey, whatever it takes to get it done, big guy. Whatever it takes to get it done. You know? Whatever it takes to get it done.
Not gonna cry out that spilled milk. We'll just keep rolling. Let's keep rolling with it.
Fans, each and every week, again, as I mentioned, we play our numbers game, which Cleveland started off the show with. We give you some history lessons with This Week in History. Some stuff you may have heard of, some stuff you may not have heard of. If somebody else you know is giving you this combination of stuff, playing the numbers game with you, giving you a history lesson with This Week in History, and then give you an inspirational quote, I want to know about it, fans. So tune in to Voice of the Fans. Or excuse me, hit me up at _ Voice of the Fans, at _ Voice of the Fans, if that's going on, because I want to know about it. Maybe do I need to change up my format? What do I need to do differently? Because I don't know that that's happening. And even if it's happening, I need to be better prepared. I need to better prepare myself. So let me know if you know if that's happening before. Let me know. Hit me up at _ Voice of the Fans. That's at _ Voice of the Fans. If you know of that happening before, let me know just to kind of educate myself. And then a shameless plug here. There's where you can find us at _ Voice of the Fans. At _ Voice of the Fans. Right there. Here's the reason why we were playing, or why I was grubbing today. It's supposed to be 2 pounds, but you see Cleveland a little salty. Bringing that salt back again. Hit us up at _ Voice of the Fans. Fans, I need donations, man. We need some donations to make the show better. Cash App. $ Voice of the Fans. $ Voice of the Fans on the Cash App. Hit us up if you like what we do, man. Donate to the pride. I'll take $1. I'll take $2. I'll take $20. Whatever you got. Help a brother out. That's all what I got to say. Again, we do something that nobody else does. By giving you an inspirational quote, playing a number game each and every week, and then giving you This Week in History. The quote I'm going to leave you guys with tonight is from Harriet Woods. You can stand tall without standing on someone. You can be a victor without having victims. That's Harriet Woods. You can stand tall without standing on someone. You can be a victor without having victims. Man, so go out there and be a good teammate this week. Help somebody out. Pull somebody up rather than push them down. Just do your part to make society such a better place. I'd appreciate that. Your fans and supporters will appreciate that. Let's give Cleveland a round of applause for participating on the show today. He livened up a little bit. I appreciate that, Cleveland. Thanks for livening up. He started the show salty, didn't want to talk, was angry because I was smacking on air. Man, thank you guys. Congratulations to all those who suffered through that. Give yourself a round of applause. And lastly, fans, I want to say thank you for making our voice your choice. Enjoy your night. Enjoy your week. We'll see you Sunday for the Sunday special. Hopefully, we'll see all of you then. Take care.